Bills back on the practice field earlier today. We'll get the official injury report later on this afternoon. But during the media viewing portion, our own Sal Capaccio reported that Ed Oliver, Matt Milano, and Spencer Brown were again on the practice field. And do stay tuned. Sal's going to join the show a little bit later on in the afternoon at 5 p.m. And the Barnes Firm Injury Report, it is brought to you by the Barnes Firm. Injured for help, call 1-800-8-MILLION. We also had some awards being handed out earlier today, and with the first month of the season passing, we got our Player of the Month. And Bills running back James Cook was named the AFC's Offensive Player of the Month for September. We do have Week 5 getting underway tonight, Thursday Night Football, just after 8. Rams host 49ers. You can listen to that game right here on WGR starting at 7:30. And for San Francisco, brutal injuries continue. Quarterback Brock Purdy and wide receivers Ricky Pearsall and Juwan Jennings already have been ruled out for tonight. And then staying with some injuries, Ravens, they're without quarterback Lamar Jackson again at practice. He's dealing with a hamstring. And safety, Kyle Hamilton, he goes from limited yesterday to not practicing today as he deals with a groin. Sabres head coach Lindy Ruff did speak with the media earlier this morning. Goaltender Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen and defenseman Michael Kessering, they are being evaluated after both left yesterday's game against Pittsburgh early. Sabres are going to wrap up their preseason tomorrow at Pittsburgh. Then in baseball, 3 game threes, the winners all advance. Starting in just a few minutes, Tigers at Guardians. At 5, it's the Cubs hosting the Padres. Then your night's going to wrap up at 8. The Yankees, they host the Boston Red Sox. And Sports Talk on WGR is presented by Paramount Plus. You can't count on much, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. That's your Paddock Chevrolet Sports Update. Paddock Chevrolet celebrating 90 years of being your hometown dealership. I'm Zach Jones for WGR Sports Radio 550.
It's Mike Schopp and the Bulldog.
They have this Panther sound effect that is just the cheesiest, stupidest sounding thing. Big voice guy going, Panther goal scored by Sam Reinhart. Where'd you get that thing?
I trapped it. Been keeping it in my bathroom at the motel, feeding it old pizza.
It's Mike Schopp.
If you're calm, that wondrous big cat will be calm too. But if you're scared, that beautiful death machine will do what God made it to do. Namely, eat you with a smile on its face.
And the Bulldog. On WGR Sports Radio 550.
All right, what's up? Thanks for joining us. Joe Ostrowski, Mike Giardi, Sal Capaccio. Good lineup. What a day yesterday. My favorite part, and this might just be my ego talking, but was at the 3:25 break. Those of you who've been with us might know our clock, maybe even better than we do. You listen to that morning show, you're like, do they even know what the break times are?
You do a good job of keeping us on time. When you're not here, it's like Howard Simon is back in the room. Like, I'm very late.
That doesn't sound like a compliment.
No.
It's one toward me. I appreciate it.
Yes, it is.
I am very, 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 subconsciously in tune with the clock. But at 3:25-ish, it probably wasn't exactly 3:25, but we go to break, and Bulldog says to me off the air, hey, did you check your email? And I immediately said, what, did I log into DraftKings? That was my favorite moment of the day. But no, actually, I won tickets to the Bills game. I won the work tickets. And I immediately emailed the woman who sort of runs all that, and I said, look, it's not fair if I win. I can get in. It's really okay. And she's like, stop. These are your tickets. You won. You do what you want. Like, okay, well, I'm going to the Bills game. I'm taking my son to the Bills game.
Yeah.
So it's my turn. And you sat behind Miami and got to watch Tyreek Hill. You were sort of wondering, is he going to blow up? And that didn't really happen?
No, there was one confrontation there was a conversation with Tua after a turnover. No, after a mistake that led to a punt that looked a little heated. But, yeah, there wasn't much fireworks.
I get digs.
You get digs. All right, that's right.
Right down near the sideline there.
Yeah, we're sitting, same side, but you're, I think, at the other 30, 35-yard line from where I was. I was near the tunnel. You're closer to the scoreboard. But same side of the field, so same opportunity, right?
Is there a bathroom between when you leave the concourse and start to walk down the steps and the field?
I don't believe that there is.
I might want there to be one.
That's going to be a long walk because you're down low, aren't you?
I might have to go twice.
Yes. It's a long walk.
It's also a night game, so I'll really have to go twice.
Mm-hmm.
But that'll be something to talk about. Exciting. I brought a ball in.
Look at us going to football games. You've been to? Have you been to games in
as a fan
more recently?
Last
than me?
year I went to one.
Okay, there you go. The Jacksonville game, right?
Jacksonville.
Yeah,
we left early because it was a blowout.
I remember that. Yeah. All right, so it hasn't been as long, but still cool. Last year, the stadium. You get a taste. Plus, you get to see those new uniforms in person.
White out.
Yeah, right.
I'm already thinking about what to wear.
I would suggest white.
White. Yep.
Yeah.
And you're not going, I think.
To the game? No.
Yeah. But you need to be sort of
what was funny about you winning the tickets, was earlier in the day, I would, so I got some friends that have seasons, and, occasionally on Facebook I'll see I've got one or I've got two, face value, whatever, that kind of thing.
Face value.
And I thought to myself, this is like 1:30 in the afternoon. If I was presented with an opportunity to go after having just been, would I go? And I thought, I don't know. I mean, it was fun. I'm glad I did it. I'm honestly going to admit that I'm glad it's over. Like, I went, I saw, I came, I saw.
I left.
I did. I'm good. I'm fine.
I came, I saw, I'm done.
Right. Thank you. At least, a 1 o'clock game might be different, but another night game it would just feel like a lot.
I came, I saw, I'm out.
Right. Came, I saw, I'm done.
Goodbye.
Yep. Right.
Well,
but then you won tickets, so that's pretty cool.
I won tickets.
Yeah.
So that'll be exciting on Sunday. But you're the one who matters here because you have to be tuned up. This is exciting. Bulldog fans know all of this. It's one of his, it's one of his bits. It's what's helped make him such an icon. Week 1, John Harbaugh. All right, well, I'll contrive this thing over here. I don't really hate John Harbaugh, but this thing where he went for a team rushing record a few years ago, let's just use that. Whatever I can use, you're like a politician. Whatever I can use to embarrass the other side, I don't really have to mean it.
Plus, I
am lying.
Plus, I hate his brother enough that it can carry over.
I mean, again, great politician move.
Yeah.
It's all disingenuous. I don't actually mean a word. It's easily disprovable, but I'm still going to say it, and you're going to like it. So, John Harbaugh, week 2, Aaron Glenn. This is tougher. Really don't have a problem with Aaron Glenn. He's the Jet coach. I don't know. Week 3 is Mike McDaniel. And honestly, guys, I don't really hate Mike McDaniel. I even kind of like him, but I feel bad for him.
I think he's going to get fired. Yeah, I think he's lost his team. Yeah.
Just sort of, it's hard to sort of pile on here, but we're going to. Week 4 is Kellen Moore. We don't know who that is. No. We've never even heard of him.
Chase Daniel, Kellen Moore, he's a confusing person to me. I confuse him with other smallish, good college quarterbacks who didn't do really anything in the NFL. Those guys are all one guy to me. There's probably I should have made a list, but there's probably 3 or 4 guys that I think are Kellen Moore.
These are we don't even really hate them. We don't even know them. The closest we can get to hate is our complete indifference toward them. I mean, that's even less of a compliment to just not care who they are. Closest we can get to hate.
Yeah.
Now the preseason is over.
We're cooking now.
The preseason is over. Right. Mike Vrabel.
Here he comes, everybody. Mike Vrabel.
Let's hear it.
Who should I? No, you know what? I'll leave out. Yeah, Mike Vrabel. I'm sorry, ma'am. We use fresh mushrooms, not canned mushrooms on the pizza. I'm not prepared to offer you a refund because you don't like the fact that we use fresh mushrooms, not canned mushrooms.
What is this?
On the pizza? He's a pizzeria manager. He's pizza.
You were a pizzeria manager.
I know, right? That's why I feel like I can be okay criticizing him for looking like a Cheektowaga pizzeria manager. Because I was a near the Cheektowaga-Williamsville line pizzeria manager for a long time. But he looks like a guy that I would have been training under. for a few years before I got the keys and got the combination to the safe. That's what Mike Vrabel looks like to me. Excellent coach. I respect him as a coach. I just think I just see him on the phone with customers complaining about their deliveries being late and the wrong ingredients and wanting to get refunds and going, I'm sorry, I'm not authorized to do that for you.
Sorry, but don't you sort of relate to the manager when that happens? Like even like him a little bit? Isn't that when somebody calls in with dumb nonsense complaints? Like, don't you sort of?
Yes, but it is not a desirable lot in life. So yes, there is sympathy
manager
for that person, but it's also just a disastrous place to end up in your life, where you are the person who has to be on the phone going, "No, we're not giving you store credit." Because you don't like the mushrooms.
Credits.
Not gonna happen.
That's funny.
Not today. Not
All right,
today.
so he is for the first time in Bills history the coach of the Patriots. And this is a new era, right? I mean, this is the Mike Vrabel Patriots era.
And despite this, baseless, ridiculous critique I have of him.
Toppings.
I did
gate.
not.
Toppings gate.
I'm sorry. There's construction. There's traffic. I'm sorry the driver was late. I did not want him to take the New England job. I sort of like how with I don't know. We'll see what Miami does if they move on from Mike McDaniel. I was talking like this even early, like don't fire him now. They might rebound. Like, let it just spiral. I'd rather they spiral. New England, I wish they'd kept Gerard Mayo, because I think Vrabel is a accomplished coach, a respected coach, and it's hard to say that he'll have his team buttoned up when they committed 5 turnovers a week ago or 2 weeks ago, in a loss. Like, it's not like they're immune to making mistakes, but I just feel like they'll be good soon, I think, and he will be a big reason why. Like, I think he'll coach guys up. I think he's a good coach.
Okay.
But I don't, he's just got a vibe. He's just got a vibe. Really goes back to Tennessee, because that's where he made his name as a coach. And Tennessee was so annoying because you never really thought they were that good. But you're losing to them on Monday night, and Josh Allen is slipping, and there's Vrabel over there just with that face.
They have 2 primetime wins over the Bills.
Right.
One on a Monday, one on a Tuesday.
Yeah, I guess that's right.
Or Wednesday, or whatever it used to be like. Well, Mike Vrabel, he's fine. I don't care if he worked in pizza, or I don't blame him for that. But Drake May. Now we're talking. Like Drake May might arrive Sunday night. Now, he played last year. The game in Buffalo, they were both very late in the season games, the 2 meetings with the Patriots. And the game here was tough. Like, he was, I think, impressive in that game. They didn't score, was it 24-21 maybe? Like, they didn't score a ton of points, but he showed himself like a rookie first-round pick. I'm somebody, maybe like Kelly was when he was in his first year. Kelly's always an asterisk because he'd already played 2 years pro. So he wasn't like raw when he got to the Bills. But still, here's May, and they didn't win very many games. They really should have had the first overall pick, but they beat the Bills without him in week 18.
You're right on the score, 24-21. He was 22 of 36 for 261 and 2 touchdowns.
That sounds pretty good.
That's a good day. He was picked off one time, but he had a good day. I don't think there's any question. That's a very good day.
The division has been down bad. The Bills have owned it. And going into this season, we have this question and that question about the Bills, but the one thing that maybe we're the most confident about is that none of the other teams is ready to challenge them. We would talk about all of them. We talked about New England. And I'm thinking of Ross Tucker, I guess. Former Patriot Ross Tucker, who said, they might be decent, but they're not going to win the division.
They're not going to catch the Bills. Right.
Anyway, I feel like maybe May is on the cusp of beginning a real rivalry with Allen, which no one else in the division since Brady left has been able to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Tua has not been able to go toe-to-toe with Josh Allen. Like, they've come close a few times, but they always lose. And the Jets have been, Zach Wilson, the Jets have been through a few guys, and I don't know, does Justin Fields make it to 2027 as the Jet quarterback even? Like, they're not, I don't think they're like sort of ready.
No.
I mean, Fields was terrible against the Bills, and he got hurt, and that's going to be over.
The next time they're good, the quarterback will be somebody that they draft either this coming April or the April, whatever. Their quarterback, when they're good again, is not on the team.
Well, that's right, and that's the point I'm thinking of with New England here. Like,
right.
Brady leaves, then who is it? It's Cam Newton. That's not going to be a rivalry with Allen, and Allen was still emerging then. It wasn't even like really something you would have thought of. But Newton is not going to be the Patriot quarterback for like 7 years. You know, he was there to get them through, and it didn't work out, and then he was gone, and then Belichick was gone. And then it was Mac Jones, and okay, maybe it's Mac Jones, who had a couple of moments, beat Allen in New England, right? I mean, that happened. And then he was gone because he wasn't good enough. This guy is probably good enough. This guy is probably their quarterback for
10 years, 12 years,
7 to 10 years.
They should be. I think it was with Ross on Tuesday that I described him as Josh Allen light. He is athletic. He can run. He's got a decent arm, but it's all just like 3/4 of Allen. You know, it's to me like he's not as big, maybe not as fast. The arm isn't as big, but it's comparable enough. You know, and yeah, I think. They absolutely should be. I think they are the team we should be thinking about. I felt that way all summer coming into this season. The question was just going to be how close can the gap get and how soon? And, you know, we're staring at a game here where if he rolls in here with the Patriots, Drake May, and pulls the upset, they're a game back.
With a win.
With a win against them, head-to-head. Like, that's closer. You know, we talk all the time, you know, because we're going to see them actually lose one of these games before it feels close. But, like, this is going to be some joyride, right? So heavily favored. You know, they're just going to run away with it like they did last year where they, you know, clinched on December 1st, which is nuts. But if May is up to it, if they are all up to it, if Diggs shows out or something in a return game here, they're a game back, which is kind of weird to think about. Yeah, with a win, and so what? So that they're the team, I think, and that is, I don't want to say like that's in my head or anything, but. I am respecting them as an opponent coming in here. I'm not even really thinking about what the spread is and how much the Bills should win by. I feel like this is as tough a test as they've had since opening day. And I don't even, Baltimore has spiraled since they were here. I mean, they did win a game, but they're 1-3, and everybody's hurt, including the quarterback. This is a test to me. I mean, I don't want to overdo it. This is not a team that's at the Chargers level even right now, or the Chiefs level certainly, but they're coming. And the question is, how soon do they arrive? And if they could pull an upset on Sunday, that will feel significant. Maybe in the way the timing doesn't really work. I'm thinking about Bledsoe in '94 showing up and beating the Bills and Kelly at the end of the year, and it felt like a torch was being passed kind of thing.
Well,
happening.
It was.
But Kelly was, 10 years in at that point, or whatever. He was way nearer to the end of his career. And Allen, we think, is probably in the middle, ideally, hopefully, of his career. So it's not quite that. Like, a win would not signify the end of an empire here or anything, but it would be significant for New England.
Kelly and Bledsoe were maybe like a decade apart.
Yeah, I think that's right. Is that
1960? They're born on the same day.
Is that Bledsoe's second year? Right? Is he the '93 draft? Kelly was the '83 draft.
Right. They're both Valentine's Day.
Right.
So they're a decade apart. Allen is a little more than 6 years older than May. I'm just like yesterday. Bulldog and I were talking about the AFC, and like sort of your dream bracket, which I still think is really fun. And if anybody wants to play that game with us, just, let me know. A guy called in who wasn't into what we were talking about. He was just like somebody who wanted to call the show. And he's like, I'm tired of hearing people on the station talk up the Patriots, like be scared of the Patriots. Like, oh, well, this is the first I'm hearing of it. But okay, you're hearing it. You're saying this for some reason that you're getting a little bit too much of New England is a little bit scary. I don't think they're scary, but I also don't know that, and this isn't something you have to care about if you love the Bills, like whatever, but that this Patriots quarterback is going to be your rival for a long time. And it's not going to be Justin Fields, and it's not going to be Tua. That's already, I think, mostly come and gone. Mm-hmm. Like he was a high pick, and it's the Dolphins, and maybe this ends up being, and that's what is he not older than Allen even? Like that's somebody who, right around the same. Like here's somebody we're going to have to beat. And the Bills have done almost nothing but beat him. And come on, that's probably closer to the end than the beginning for him in Miami.
Yep.
And here's May, who is brand new. Like as a rookie, he did enough. I kept saying in the offseason that it seems like everybody is into this. We couldn't find anybody who was like sort of negative on the Patriots until Sam.
He's like, where are the good players?
He was not in on New England.
Right.
And I don't know, we'll talk to him tomorrow. But I think this is the guy. It's not Mahomes. Mahomes is the Super Bowl level. Like you're playing a video game and he's at the last level. Like he's the guy you have to beat in the end to win the game. And May is not that. But this is your new division foe. And, put him with Vrabel or just don't even worry about that. And Sunday night is a great test for him. The Bills' defense isn't good.
No.
So if he's got Diggs and if he's got Travion Henderson, if they want to use him more, and Hunter Henry is catching touchdown passes, like I like both teams to score in this game. Allen never gets cheated in a night game. Like, when have you ever seen Josh Allen at night, like, not do really well? It's just he always gets there. The total's like 48 or something like that. That doesn't mean he has to, if touchdowns or field goals, then the game won't go over. But he never gets cheated at night. And he's up for every one of these. White out, new uniforms, home crowd. Unless he's exhausted, like maybe fans are exhausted from 3 home games in a row at night, like all of it.
Right.
Unless he better not be tired. Like this is always a game he shows up for. He's dominated the Dolphins. He hasn't dominated the Patriots, but they almost always win. He's pretty safe. Here's May. All right, well, this is one of my first spot. How many times has he been on at night? Ever? Like maybe once last year? I don't even know. Like this is a big, if the guy is he's loving this game on Sunday.
I feel like they played a Jet game in primetime last year. I have in my head, but I'm not positive.
The Jets did beat them on a Thursday night last year.
Yeah, I think, thinking about the caller you referenced, like scared of the Patriots. I wouldn't describe myself as scared of the Patriots, but I think there is a difference because you get ready to play a team that's really like Baltimore. I think is scary. Like I can absolutely see you losing that game. And there's I don't know, maybe it's too fine a line I'm trying to cut here, but I'm respectful of that. I would not be surprised at all if they won the game. New England. And I would not have said that about New Orleans or Miami or the Jets. I fully expected the Bills to win. I wasn't sure about covering last week. It was such a big number. I thought they'd cover the Miami game, and they didn't. They missed a field goal that would have gotten them there if everything else went the same. Anyways, this game, to me, there's no surprise if the end of the night comes and it's New England 30, Bills 27 or something. I just don't. That would not shock me or really even surprise me. That doesn't mean I'm scared of them. I don't think they're the better team, but it's football. They could win. I think they have the quarterback to me who can make enough plays with his feet and with his arm. We haven't really seen the Bills' pass defense when has it been tested? Exactly. You know, like everyone's just run like crazy on them. And even Miami, you know, they made some plays, but it was very modest passing-wise. Like if New England comes in here and throws it 40 times, he could go for 300 yards.
They don't want to have to do that, but we'll get to it. Sal Capaccio will join us later on the matchup, the latest with the Bills injury report. Also later, Mike Giardi on New England. Great guest, Boston Sports Journal. Next, though, Joe Ostrowski bets sweats. We'll look at Week 5 around the NFL. Mike Schopp and the Bulldog here. Thanks for listening. This is WGR.
I really do. I don't think as a kid, I definitely didn't feel the way you felt about Seattle, and I don't really care about the helmet stripe thing, but that blue, I mean what I said. I'm not even thinking about what it actually, I think of it as it's very distinctive in a sports uniform. That's a Seattle blue to me.
Seattle blue.
Seattle blue.
Sounds like a racehorse.
It does.
No, that's Seattle Slew.
This show.
Let's go to Mario.
Free.
Hi.
No charge.
Hi, Mario.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good, thank you, Mario.
Hey, on the topic, I know this is going to be a basic suggestion, but I love the '90s blue uniforms with the red helmet. I would love to see the Bills trot out in those and see Allen winning those.
Well, they are going to wear the red helmets at the end of the year. The final game will feature the red helmet, but not the entire uniform.
Right, so Allen will take a snap in the red helmet and then come off the field. That's not as fun.
Probably right, yeah.
Yeah.
You can pretend it's him.
Right. I wanted to comment on one of the other callers talked about making a trade at the deadline if Bean can be all in on this season, if things are lining up for the Bills. And a couple of weeks ago, a caller called into Brownie and Tasker's show and suggested receiver, and Tasker went off and said, you know, they're scoring the most points. We don't need that. We don't need that right now. But you got to plan. This team has to plan for the playoffs. You know, it's like you can have a lure that catches the most sea bass, but then if you're said, hey, go catch a marlin, you can't look at your lures that only catch bass and say, I don't know why I'm not catching a marlin. I mean, I'm not a fisher, so that makes me a bad analogy.
No, that totally works.
Remember that. Right. Like
You sounded really knowledgeable to me.
You said lure correctly and everything.
Well,
you know names of fish.
I'm a lawyer, so I'm good at fluffing up stuff. But for what it's worth, you know, the Chiefs game, granted, it didn't come down to one play, but I remember, like it was yesterday, that last play when the Chiefs stacked the box and brought a corner blitz, and everyone was complaining that, oh, well, we don't have receivers that stretch the field. No one could stretch the field that entire game, let alone that last play. So it makes me look ahead. So I heard reports today again that A.J. Brown is really unhappy, and the Eagles might actually look to shop him and get some draft capital out of him. I don't know what that contract looks like, but do you guys have any suggestions? If they were to go for a receiver, who do you think they would go for? If Brown would be a good fit, I know his attitude sucks, so maybe not, but who would you go for, and what position would you focus on if it wasn't a receiver?
Well, I already talked last segment or a little while ago about the what I think, you know, pass rush. I think you can always use more pass rush. I think if this team were to lose Bosa, I think they could really be in trouble. And I know you can say that about a lot of teams and a lot of positions, but they are really lacking there, I think, so far this year. So I would always look for that. And I think safety is still a need. You might want to wonder about corner. You know, they seem to be getting Dorian Strong ready. Maybe that's certainly it's because they want to see it. But if Tre'Davious White had that locked down, I don't think they'd be trying out guys during games. So maybe that's another sneaky one. So that's where I would settle. Safety / DB edge.
I am not anywhere yet on this, especially names. I mean, it's still a month, but anything that you can, you know, reasonably explain away as improvement, I think is justifiable, if not desirable. Brown, I mean, the guy's really good, and he's won a Super Bowl, and, you know, like, what do we want for a receiver? Target share. Receivers want to be the man. He is. Like, he gets that target share on an elite level. The problem is it's the word share. And they didn't throw a pass in the second half. Like, they are winning anyway without needing to use him, usually. So he's got to calm down. Like, he's going to feel the way he feels. But if I'm the Eagles, I'm like, are you sure you really need to be unhappy about this? We will be in games that we're losing, probably. Let's say we're not. Can that be okay? If we win every game and we don't need to throw you the ball, can that be okay? If not, man, we probably won't win every game, and we will need you. So what do you think? Like, how about you get on board with this? How do you trade him? How do you have the defending Super Bowl champion and one of 2 remaining undefeated teams in the league? I mean, like, you know what we should do? Trade our best player? I mean, he's top 3? I don't know. Like, no, it doesn't make it. They can't do that.
Right.
They shouldn't. It's really bad if they do that. Saying all that, there are odds on his next team at BetOnline, because of course there are. And somehow the favorite is Cleveland.
What?
Yeah, that's the favorite to be A.J. Brown's next. And maybe his name is Brown. That's the case. Cleveland is the favorite to be his next team.
So the Eagles are going to be so fed up with his attitude that they're going to exile him to the Browns?
And, if the Eagles, I say if, because, come on, no way, right?
Right.
But if they trade him, they need somebody like him back. They would need somebody, like, we're not rebuilding. We're not looking for a first. We want another A.J. Brown who won't be mad at us all the time, won't be sad.
That's going to be...
Now on the Wester Hotline, the fabulous host of Bet Sweats, Joe Ostrowski, Odyssey Sports Betting Insider. Insider calls are presented by BetMGM. Check out the latest lines today on the BetMGM app. And be sure to check out Joe's show with Sam Panayotovich weekday mornings on the BetMGM network and the Bet 1520. Joe, how are you?
Great, guys. How are you?
Good.
Besides talking up the Patriots.
You ready to do more of that or less? Should we scale it? You're going to scale it back?
How do you feel about it? Yeah.
You're calling the wrong guy. I'm sure it's going to be even worse tomorrow. Look, I think there's a legit pathway, whether you like it or not. I don't really like it, for them to be in the playoffs. They're an underdog to make the playoffs, but I was just looking at those odds, just listening to you guys talk through it. And I got to hear it because one of my best friends is a big Patriots fan. I'm just like, I'm always talking him down. And sometimes football happens and the easy schedule gets easier. And I look at it, I'm like, God, after Buffalo, it's literally maybe the 3 worst teams in the NFL in New Orleans, Tennessee, and Cleveland. And now what was supposed to be one of the tough games of an easy schedule, Cincinnati, looks like an easy win. And it's the Giants. It's just, man, they should just easily stroll to a minimum of 9 wins, and they're going to be in the mix for the playoff. Now, what they do there is something completely different. But, I may not be a big believer in the team, but the record is going to be the record, and I kind of think there's a very good chance that this team is in the playoffs.
Me too. If I may use this opportunity, little trivia. It's not really a trivia question. You know how people say, like, sometimes they say, I got a trivia question for you, and it's about them. Like, it's not even really trivia. But today, I placed 2 make the playoffs bets on teams that were plus 500 or higher, which, aren't our favorite bets always, losers, right? Bulldog, The best bets we make are like sure to lose.
Joe, I said yesterday I would rather lose $10 than win 12.
How about that line? That's so good.
I never make that bet.
Yeah, I know somebody who's like that.
Is it me?
I don't want to tie. I'd rather lose than void it. Like, he wants a result. I'm like,
seriously though, like if you bet $10 to on the Guardians today, right? Like, you bet, who cares? You bet 12 or something on the Commanders to win the Super Bowl. You're getting way much more fun out of that than just like one little $10 bet. Anyway, plus 500 or better. 2 teams right now on the odds. I bet them both to make the playoffs. I would love it if one of them did. Anybody want to make a guess, or I'll just tell you?
Yeah, I'll guess. You get Cowboys are not there, huh? I don't think they're.
That's 1.
Oh, it is one. Cowboys.
Yep.
Okay.
Green Book, Joe.
I feel like because of the conversation we're having that New England's the other one, but are they
They're
that
not.
high?
I don't think they're that rich.
Yeah.
They're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like plus 155, somewhere in that range.
Joe's better equipped to guess at this because I don't look at those odds. That I look at them when I make bets to win the division back in the summer, and I don't look at them really.
Plus, I already have New England from before the season.
Giants?
Browns.
And I was going to say Browns. Okay.
What do you think? Is that crazy? 6-1? Crazy?
Do you have them winning Sunday morning?
Well, I mean, what? They're a 3.5-point dog. The total is like 19 or something. I mean, just it's super low. Great defense against Carson Wentz with 4 injured linemen. I could see it.
Yeah.
Right. I know. I look at that point spread and I say, what am I missing? So with everything that you said, fair points. I say Brian Flores bringing pressure against a quarterback who hasn't taken a snap in the NFL yet on national TV in his first spot, right? Like after traveling, after having the bad travel.
He's going to make Dylan Gabriel see ghosts, pretty much, is what I would be expecting.
Maybe Dylan Gabriel should make him see Judkins. Because maybe he's all you need to beat Minnesota. Look at Kenneth Gainwell last week. What was that? I mean, that was like a monster game for a guy that's just – has he ever started a game? So
yeah. How about – and I think you're right. Like that's what they're going to most likely do offensively, just hand it off to Judkins all game. How about the number of rookie running backs making an impact already? I think that is – and I know you guys can't bet it. I think that's the most fun award to track.
I love it.
This year. The Offensive Rookie of the Year. Because you don't have a quarterback – that's running away with it. The one quarterback that started from week 1 is going through his struggles. I don't see him turning it around. Now you've got a couple of quarterbacks that are in the mix in Dart, and we'll see what Gabriel ends up doing. You've got a wide receiver that is your favorite in Ibuka, who's been phenomenal. And every week it's, here's another one. Like this week I'm looking at Woody Marks at 60-1. Should I be betting that if he's going to be the guy moving forward for the Texans? There are a lot of fun names, and Genty finally had his blow-up game. Hampton did as well.
Going back to the spring before the draft, like this was something that was forecast. Right, there was just a lot of talent coming in, running back wise. Like even into Saturday, you're going to get guys who are going to play and play well right away.
I think one guy that's like looked really good, like Woody Marks. I don't think is good, but maybe that doesn't matter if he gets all the work and can kind of rescue their offense. I think one guy who's good but not playing enough is R.J. Harvey. Like he
looked great on Monday night, I thought.
But Dobbins is sort of like your workhorse type, and if he doesn't get hurt, Peyton's not shunning J.K. Dobbins. So I think you have a Dart ticket, right, Joe?
Yeah, I have a Dart ticket. Well, you could see that Daboll was dying to get him on the field. It didn't matter what Russ was doing, just was waiting. And so, he had the big game, and then the number got bigger and bigger. And the week before he decided that Dart was going to play when Russell was awful, it went back down to 35-1. You knew this guy's getting on the field very soon. He's trying to save his job, and Russ wasn't going to get it done. So, I've maybe I have too many. I have a Dart ticket. I have a Judkins ticket, and because once he got out there and he took 18, he rushed it 18 of their 19 times from the backfield. I'm like, oh yeah, this is going to be the guy. I'm considering Woody Marks. There's a 75 out there, but at what point do you stop?
Soon.
Yeah,
soon. Are you plus or minus against the field? Dart, Judkins, are you favored to win or?
I don't have. Well, Dart is about the third favorite. He's almost the same odds as Hampton, but I don't have a Ibuka or Genty. Okay. So those are the top two.
You're probably like 1 in 3 to win. 1 in 3, maybe better than that. Maybe 40% to win, something like that.
Scatterboo doesn't get credit, right? If the Giants do anything, it's all the quarterback.
Good point. Like that's interesting, and he got tons of volume last week. Didn't really amount to much, but he got the ball all day in that game, and they never trailed against the Chargers. By the way, I also bet Dallas to win the division at plus 2,200 because I think Philadelphia is actually bad.
You love that tie, huh?
I think Philadelphia is actually bad.
Joe, just honestly, how much do you enjoy doing a weekly show with two guys who apparently love to lose bets?
Hey,
There's a daily show like that.
it's fun. It's fun. We got the Cowboys and the Browns making the playoffs.
Although, listen,
Yes.
I'm self-deprecating. Put that aside. Do we have a long shot tight end touchdown for tonight? By the way, 'cause we're riding a streak of 2 weeks in a row.
Joe.
We got to find a guy for tonight.
Who's playing in this game?
It's got to be Tonjes.
It's going to be awful.
Who
is this?
It's got to be Jake Tonjes, who I think is their starter, and his odds can't be super great if everybody else is
spell
hurt. What?
How do you spell that?
Tonges. Listen. We hit on Jackson Hawes. Bulldog, thank you so much for remembering this. We hit on Barner. Joe wouldn't even respond last week. Like, oh my God, this freaking guy.
First touchdown of the game, too.
Touchdown of the game.
Right.
Unbelievable.
Tonjes-
I was actually at a baseball field, so I missed the whole thing.
Tonjes has been scoring. He's their Kittle right now.
He's plus 425 for a touchdown.
Baby. I mean, how much easier does money get? How much easier does it get to make money than that?
So San Francisco will score a touchdown tonight.
And it's going to be Jake Tonjes,
Yeah.
who is perfect for this little bit.
What do you want to do with this game, Joe? While we're here, I mean, it's the number. I think I saw 7.5. So many injuries, but it's a division game, and it's a Thursday, and I don't know. That number seems a little scary to me.
And it's now 8.5.
Okay.
There are some 9s. What I want to do with this game is now I wasn't considering this earlier in the week.
Now you want to bet
injuries,
Tonjes.
there's Tonjes is locked in. We have to do that. I mean, do we want to do 3 weeks in a row where you regret it? Come on.
I mean, you have to.
Feel like now I have to consider Rams for Survivor, and I didn't want to do that.
Oh, right.
But now I have to. If you want to save teams like the Lions and the Bills, which I do, you have to look at it. What are they down to who's the number 1 receiver for San Francisco?
DeMarcus Robinson, revenge game. DeMarcus Robinson
Bourne, who was
and
cut
Bourne
this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's how bad it is. I don't want to do anything with the side. Here's one angle. Will Brinson brought this up on our show this week, and I thought it was kind of interesting. If you're into narratives, which I think some people bet into, Devontae Adams grew up Palo Alto. Look at him against the Niners. The numbers are staggering. 5 regular season games, he's averaged 127 yards per game. In those 5 games, he has 7 touchdowns. Couple of playoff games, he averages 114 yards per game in those. His prop this morning when I looked was 54.5 yards. So
wow.
Devontae could be something there. Everything's got to go through McCaffrey, you would think. But I mean,
but Joe,
is it going to be worth it if you're behind by 2-3 scores early?
The price is probably terrible.
Yeah.
He hasn't even been good.
No,
Like he's getting the ball constantly. It's ironic. Like he's the one guy who's not hurt, but he hasn't even been good. I'll tell you one more anytime touchdown bet I will make tonight is Corum for the Rams, because for the first time since Kyren Williams, they're taking him off the field. Like they're using Blake Corum from Michigan, running back,
Yep.
and it's got to be at least plus 250 or something. I bet. I don't even know, but
I did think that was kind of interesting that the 2 most popular prop bets for tonight are on backup running backs.
uh-oh. The room? Am I in the room now?
You're in the room.
Uh-oh.
The number 1 bet is Brian Robinson Jr. over 17.5 rushing yards.
Don't like it.
And number 2, Corum over 30.5 rushing yards.
I'll just take the touchdown.
His touchdown number is plus 280. I see right now.
I don't want to be in the room, Joe.
Don't go in the
I can't
room.
live like this. I don't
Bad
want to be.
place.
I don't want the humiliation of being in the room. Although last Thursday night the room finally did well. This is the most popular public bets. If you don't watch Bet Sweats every day, this is what the room means. So, okay.
Room's been bad. Room's been bad this year.
Do you have a thought on Bills Patriots? I mean, are you way off New England?
I like the Bills.
Okay.
And I like that the number came back down to earth a little bit. Now you get it at, now it's going back up a little. I take a look now. The betting market really hasn't settled. You could find 7.5, you could find 8, and you could find 8.5. But, yeah. I was sweating that Bills Survivor play way too much last week.
Yeah.
I was like, what is going on? Why am I kicking my feet up on the Patriots? And it was the Texans, right. And then the Patriots, the Bills was the sweat. It seemed like they didn't really seem all that concerned about it, sitting in a number of defensive starters, but I do like the Bills, and I think you guys hinted at this as well. I could see another Sunday night shootout in this game.
I like it.
Going both ways, and Drake May's been terrific. Let's see, not a tough matchup defensively, leads the league in completion percentage, so we'll see if that continues. They haven't had much of a running game, but especially if they're behind, him and Allen going back and forth, I could see it.
What are some Survivor ideas you like this week? And how is your? I didn't look at the stats. Did some people get knocked out last week or no?
It's been pretty slow. I think in most pools it's about maybe a third at most that have been knocked out because the highest point spreads they're getting through. And the ones that are getting bounced are like the fourth or fifth one, like around 6.5. So, yeah, the Chargers lose as 6-point favorites to the Giants last week, but not a ton of people were on them. Yes, the Packers was a losing pick because ties are losers in most pools, but not a ton of people are on them because of the higher games. So
yeah,
I think tonight is pretty good with the Rams. That makes a lot of sense. If you have not used the Cardinals again in one of their first couple easy games, this is your last chance if you want to use them. If you're in a big pool, you're probably going to have to use middle teams like the Cardinals because it's going to last a while. They're going against the Titans this week. This would be your last spot. I don't know why, but I am so scared of the Colts this week. Whether it's Geno playing better on the road, not turning the ball over as much, bounce back situation. I don't know what it is, but that number scares me. And why is it sitting at 7 and it's not going above that? That worries me. I think the Lions is easy if you don't mind using them. The Rams, it sounds like you guys would not go Bills this time.
No,
I'm not. I would not go Bills this way. I like your Rams idea. I may hop on that. If I remember to do it before the game starts. I didn't tell you this, but two weeks ago, I played golf Sunday morning, and because the Bills had played on Thursday, and I went to my favorite bar on Hurdle near my house, and like 2 minutes to 1, I sit down and there's a notification from the group that runs your pool, like you haven't made your pick yet. I'm like, oh my god! I'm like scrolling through Seattle, we
almost had him, Joe.
We joke around about like these emails that are so like Walmart's got to ask you how like your purchase of a gas cap key went. Like what? Stop with the flood of email.
Rate it.
Here was one that I really like. Oh, thank God I got the splash reminder because I would have completely forgot when I sat down at the bar and I would have been out.
Yep.
Wow. Oh man.
We almost had him.
Good job.
Next year, remove the notifications. Less than a minute, Joe. Any baseball thoughts today?
Yeah, I mean, the first game is scoreless early on. I actually like a lot of the underdogs today. We've got Detroit and Cleveland going on. We'll see. The Cubs fans are freaking out over here, I got to tell you. The Padres are an underdog. I'd rather have Darvish on my side. I think they have the pitching advantage and strong bullpens on both sides. I've been hitting a lot of unders, especially in Detroit, Cleveland, and the Chicago-San Diego series. Boston, New York, it's a complete toss-up. It's early against Schlittler for it all in the best of 3. The Yankees are minus 160 favorites, so I think it's a coin toss, so I would just look to the Boston side there. I brought up on the show today about the idea of, it's probably going to be Dodgers, and I kind of like them to face the Tigers, who obviously have to win today.
Oh.
And Sam said that you brought up an idea on a World Series MVP, which I really, really like.
And he can't find it. He told me he can't find it.
Oh, I found it today. I found it right before I hopped on.
I'll DM you if you don't mind. I want it. I want it.
There's a 60.
Fine.
I hope they didn't take it down because they're playing right now.
Oh. I mean, I did 3 podcasts this morning. I missed your show for the first time in a long time.
What are we talking about?
Scooble.
Oh, okay.
I think it's a very strong angle. If they make it that far, he's the guy you think of. He's probably going to be back-to-back Cy Young Award winner. Yeah, it could be a Strasburg situation.
It's
where he
Bumgarner.
goes 3 times in a series. Yeah.
Yep. I had Bumgarner in 14. It's one of my favorite all-time bets. And we sat here on Game 7 day that year and like, Bulldog, how does he lose? Like, what has to happen in this game? If Kansas City wins the game, he's still going to win the MVP. Like, if he doesn't pitch. What happens? He pitches the last 3 innings or something.
Right.
And that Alex Gordon triple, and then he finished. Like, they gave him the truck. Remember the truck guy?
You're right. That was
so
the
good.
truck guy. That's right.
So good.
The memories when you hit a bet like that.
Exactly.
The
Exactly.
truck guy.
Thank you, Joe.
Thanks, guys.
Joe Ostrowski, Bet Sweats, weekday mornings on the Bet MGM Network. Mike Schopp and the Bulldog here, WGR. Welcome back. Mike Giardi next. Boston Sports Journal on the Patriots. Sal Capaccio later on the Yankees. You have to be feeling Yankees Red Sox right now, right? If you're not going to feel it today, when are you going to feel it?
Right. It's been I have thoroughly enjoyed this. I was not super invested in Boston getting to the playoffs, but these two games have been really great for me. I just said, and I'm not, I want the Red Sox to win. I'm tense. There's some, fingernail biting and whatever, but, they lost last night. All right, whatever. I don't know. I feel like I have a very grown up, healthy relationship with my baseball team now. Like I want them to win, but it does not devastate me if they don't. I just all right. There's another game tomorrow.
There won't be.
Well, I know
if they lose
today.
Tonight.
This is it. So we'll see. I'll take this out for a spin tonight to see how it goes. I'm in danger though. These games have been pretty quick. They started at 6 o'clock. That's very helpful. But still, last night was a pretty fast game. I think the game the other night was maybe 3 hours plus. But the 4-hour marathon Yankee Red Sox game is a thing of the past with the way baseball is now.
You say that now.
We'll take that out for a spin tonight because back when they were in the World Series, even as far back as 2004, I discovered that I have the more I want to watch the thing, the more I'm invested in it, the more likely it is that I fall asleep. Problem. Whereas if I don't care that much and I just have the TV on and just sort of like stare at it, I'll stay awake. I think there's a concentration thing there that is fatigue. I don't know what it is, but I'm worried I'm going to doze off tonight watching this game.
8 o'clock doesn't help you.
8 o'clock does not help.
6 was better.
Is it close enough to 8 o'clock though? 8 o'clock doesn't mean like 8:25 or some crap, right? It's like 8:08.
Probably means 8:08.
8:08. Okay, fine. You don't give me past like 10 after. I'm fine.
I agree with that. Bucky Dent. 47 years ago today.
Yeah.
You know what? It's always going to be October. When we care about this, it's October. So, of course, it's going to be around the anniversary. It's like the Super Bowls. Oh, it's the anniversary of the comeback game. Oh, it's the anniversary of Norwood. Well, that's when that happened. Like every year, it's the same time of year. So not really that surprising. Mike Giardi on the Patriots after the update here on WGR.
We've been living in sin so long, all the feels are gone. Fella stopped me on the street last night, said everything's alright. Roller coaster, make it through the day, I'm right. It seems your meal ticket is gone, but life goes on. I could never imagine something better. Yeah, right. Now you're cooking on high heat in the middle of the street. Roller coaster, take me to a better time. Let's go. All sing your high line with the roller coaster of life. Yeah. It's time to all choose your timeline on the roller coaster of life. You seem to easily forget how to place your bet. When everyday life gets you down, you gotta steal the crown. Got to own it. Don't bitch and moan about it, please. God forbid you scrape your knees, and it's nothing to sneeze at. Oh, I've told you about time. Oh, sing your high line on the roller coaster of life. You've got to all choose your timeline with the roller coaster of life. Roller coaster. I want to go down the rabbit hole, down the rabbit hole of life. And now it's about to leave. Oh, roller coaster.
Two players did not practice today for the Bills. Linebacker Dorian Williams for a second straight day with a knee. And then a new addition, cornerback Dorian Strong. He's dealing with a neck injury. Defensive tackle TJ Sanders was also a new addition. He's limited with the knee, along with Ed Oliver, Matt Milano, and Spencer Brown. Jackson Hawes as well stays as limited. For the Patriots, defensive tackle Milton Williams with an ankle. He missed today after being limited yesterday. Do stay tuned. Sal's going to join the show in about an hour at 5 p.m. And the Barnes Firm Injury Report. It is brought to you by the Barnes Firm. Injured for help? Call 1-800-8-MILLION. Thursday Night Football tonight, get Week 5 underway just after 8 o'clock. Rams host the 49ers. You can listen to that game right here on WGR beginning at 7:30. For San Francisco, brutal injuries going into tonight. Quarterback Brock Purdy and wide receivers Ricky Pearsall and Juwan Jennings already have been ruled out for tonight. And then some other injuries in the NFL. The Ravens, as that continues for them. They're without quarterback Lamar Jackson at practice again. He's dealing with that hamstring. And safety Kyle Williams, he goes from limited to not practicing as he is dealing with a groin. Then in baseball, 3-game threes, all winners advance. The Tigers currently up 1-0 on the Guardians in the fourth. At 5, the Cubs host the Padres. Then at 8 o'clock, the Yankees will host the Boston Red Sox. That's your Paddock Chevrolet Sports Update. Paddock Chevrolet celebrating 90 years of being your hometown dealership. I'm Zach Jones for WGR Sports Radio 550.
Schopp and the Bulldog.
I don't think Michael's ever done drugs.
It's Mike Schopp.
I don't know if anyone's ever offered him any.
Let's go over some of the symptoms of marijuana use, shall we? You tell me who this sounds like.
It's the Bulldog.
Slow moving, inattentive, dull, constantly snacking, shows a lack of motivation.
It's Mike Schopp and the Bulldog on WGR Sports Radio 550.
Just to wrap, maybe we're not all the way back to we love our notifications, even after that Splash Sports reminder that your Survivor pick wasn't in. We're back to this is killing me.
I just got a notification from Ticketmaster that says, get those Canisius hockey tickets you thought were gone. I mean, I'm sorry, what? Nothing, I mean, go Canisius hockey, but what?
I will not let my moderate, severe indifference toward college hockey define me. Just say it out loud. It'll feel good. Mike Giardi with us, Boston Sports Journal. I love when the Bills play the Patriots because then we get to talk to Mike. Assuming he says yes.
I miss you guys. How you been?
It's been good here.
We're good. It's nice to hear from you again, Mike. Thanks for making the time for
Not
us.
excited about Canisius hockey? What are we talking about?
I am
here?
excited about Canisius hockey. I found out earlier today that a kid that we know is actually one of their goalies this year. So I'm excited for that. But it's just a weird thing that I got a notification. Like,
oh, hang on,
Mike. You could show up 2 minutes before face-off, and I think I could get you in. Okay, like it's not a.
Nice.
I just don't understand why I'm getting a notification. I thought they were gone.
The perks of the job, Mike. Wait a minute. Did you say it out loud to somebody? Is that why you got the notification?
No, I did not.
Okay.
But I saw on Twitter that Chase Clark, who was connected to my son when we were playing, is one of their goalies now. And I was like, oh, Chase Clark is on Canisius. Good for him.
You know, Mike being in the Boston area, I'm not sure how conversant he is in college hockey, but if you ever need somebody, Mike, we got Bulldog right here. He can go 10 rounds with you on college hockey.
So I used to have to cover it a ton back in the early days of my TV career in Boston because of BCBU always, right? And then you had the bean pot. So I could hang all right.
All right. Well, so Patriots at Bills Sunday night, prime time for New England, and the Bills now. This is old hat, but for a younger team, Drake May, getting this spot in Buffalo. Do you think he's up to it?
I think he's playing really well right now, by and large. There was obviously you can't yada a couple turnovers that he had against Pittsburgh, but it's been 3 weeks of really efficient quarterback play, by and large. What I will tell you is Drake tends to be amped up for every game, and normally that first drive can be a little bit of a roller coaster. And based on how he was talking this week, I would be careful in the first 5-6 rows of the stands because you might get an unintended target because he might be so jacked up that he fires one in there.
Ooh, I happen to be sitting in row 3 and holding
on a swivel,
and holding a ball that my son and I got at a game once, just randomly. I brought the ball in today, so maybe you're speaking this into existence. We will see.
Well, I'm very. I've said it this way, Mike. Like I would not be surprised if New England could pull an upset here. I mean, the opponents the Bills have faced here the last 3 weeks, I would not have ever gotten close to saying the same thing. Covering the spreads is a different thing, but to me, the quarterback is such an important piece, and if he can keep his head on straight, like I feel like he's the next guy in the division and maybe even the conference that I think we should be worrying about.
Yeah, the marriage between he and Josh McDaniels and Mike Vrabel, who very much has a hand in everything, has gone very well so far. And people were wondering, I remember even talking to people around the league being like, McDaniels, that's so uninspired. And I'm like, well, he does have a good track record beyond Tom, not as a head coach, but just you talk about the quarterbacks that he worked with. He cobbled together a good offense, or good-ish offense in 2020, the COVID year, when they signed Cam Newton in July, and he couldn't throw. And yet, whatever, they were 7-9. They didn't go to the playoffs or anything, but it was like there were pieces of a competent offense there, and you're like, how is he doing this with that guy that can't play anymore? So you give him someone with the physical tools of Drake, and that's one of the reasons I think Josh was very, very interested in the job long before the job came open was like, he sees it. He sees what the kid is capable of, and like, hey, I'd like to work with him. And there are times when you watch Drake play and you can hear Josh in his ear sort of like, hey, no, just throw it away. Just do that. So he's still learning those parts of it.
Yeah.
You know, as I mentioned, the 2 turnovers. But then, like, there was a similar play to the fumble he had against Pittsburgh when, against Pittsburgh, everything breaks down around him. He wisely puts the ball to his chest. He's going to run with it or get down, right? And then all of a sudden he sees Trevion Henderson leak out in front of him, and he's like, ooh, maybe I can backhand pitch the ball to him like, you know, say Josh Allen does to Spencer Hawes. And the next thing you know, the ball comes away from his body. Herbig chops it down, ball's out. Well, last week against Carolina, and he said, you know what? I'm just going to take the 1-yard sack. And my offensive lineman will be mad at me because I took the sack, but I didn't turn the ball over. And that is like sort of the progress they're trying to make with him and getting him to realize, like, you don't need to win every play.
Yeah.
Sometimes that right there is the right thing to do.
The lineman will be mad, but whatever. I'll just buy them a truck when the season's over.
Right.
Like, we'll be okay.
Get the money. He can afford it.
Yeah, at least maybe when he gets his second contract. Mike, I've been referring to him a few times this week as Josh Allen Light, and I don't want to be lazy about it. Like, how does that land with you? Because I feel like there are comparisons, but it's all none of it all feels like about 3/4, like size, arm strength, all of it. Is that a compliment or is that doing him a little dirty?
So I think from an athletic standpoint, he reminds me more of Herbert than he does of Josh. Like, I think Josh is he's a freak. And I mean that in a good way. Like, not quite Cam Newton freakish at 200. I can't believe I mentioned Cam Newton now twice, but, you know, that 255-pound, 260-pound bowling ball at running back, at quarterback. But Josh, his ability to withstand some of the physical punishment and dish it out is uncommon for the quarterback position. And Drake's body, he's 230-ish right now. He's still not grown man strong yet on that regard. So I see him as a really good athlete who's capable of making a ton of plays with his legs and certainly can access any part of the field with his arm. But at this point, I see it more as a Herbert-like thing than a Josh-like thing.
With Mike Giardi, well, you know, another way of asking a question about May and like what we've got here Sunday night is Bulldog even alluded to it, and we were talking earlier about this. Like, the Tua thing in the AFC East with Allen, I think is close to over. Like, the Bills have beaten the Dolphins almost. I mean, they've lost to him once in 14 games or something like that. Like, that has sort of been written. And the Jets, I think, are still trying to figure out what they're going to be at quarterback. They drafted Zach Wilson at 2, right? And then that went away.
Yeah.
Now Fields. May is in the spot to sort of become the guy here for these two teams, if not for the AFC East. I'm not talking on like the most elite level, but for a division rivalry, I feel like it's a pretty safe bet, Mike, that May is going to be there a while.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the progression from year 1 to year 2, you know, we always talk about the year 2 leap, and after week 1, you're like, oh, I don't know, it didn't look as great as you kind of thought it was going to, and then how quickly he settled in Miami. And then, like I mentioned, like everything around the 2 turnovers against Pittsburgh was outstanding. You obviously can't like just brush those away, but like they have him playing in a certain manner. I think Josh has done a good job of. We had this big conversation here, taking on his plate. Does he have too much on his plate? And Josh and Drake are like, no. But they've done more of the boot action, play action stuff, get him outside, and then it's, you know, it's a high-low read. Or sometimes if you flood it, there's 3 reads there, but you got to get rid of it quick or you're tuck and run. And I think he's real comfortable with that. And then I think when they do that, then it makes him comfortable elsewhere, like when he's sitting in the pocket. And so I think they're still learning each other, but they're sort of marrying that idea. And his growth, and like I said, the ability to he's not been a repeat offender error-wise, and I think that's critical, especially for a young quarterback. And now what's happening, I think, too, is, and again, we're early in the process, but I think teammates are looking at him now going like, okay, he was drafted to be the guy, but we didn't win but 1 game with him from start to finish last year. And now, okay, we've seen him play some gems of football games early in the year, granted against lesser opponents, but like I think they're starting to look at each other going like, no, he's the guy. He's that guy. And like there's not a ton of them in the league, and they think maybe that they have that guy. So we'll see if it continues to progress this way, but he's certainly laying down the right path.
How about the supporting cast? Let's start on the offensive line. Of course, the high pick, Will Campbell. There's another rookie next to him at guard. What's the offensive line outlook here?
So much better than it was last year or even the year before. And, some of the metrics have them rated highly. I think it's really hard to sort of measure offensive line play unless you're actually just watching it and all the assignments. But Campbell has held his own. He had a fourth quarter sort of meltdown a little bit against Vegas in the opener. And then Herbig gave him some problems in the second half of the game against the Steelers, including that, the sack, which really was Drake's fault. But regardless, he's been good. The level of play that they're getting from their left tackle this year versus the last two is like night and day. The kid you mentioned, the other rookie, Jared Wilson, he missed his first game last week with a knee injury. He's been limited in practice this week. He did talk to us, which generally would give you an idea that maybe he's got a chance to play. Without him, they went with Ben Brown, who's sort of a journeyman. He was their center last year after David Andrews went down. But by and large, it's been good. Like Morgan Moses, he's relatively healthy. He's a 34-year-old, but he's playing at a pretty good level. So, that's made a big difference in terms of pass protection. I don't feel like Drake has been under siege much in the first 4 weeks. They're still struggling to run the ball, but that's also kind of not the offensive line's fault. I think they've done a decent job. I think the backs just haven't been as productive as they need to be. I think they're one of the best teams in terms of, yards before contact. But then it's what's happening after that that's not good enough. So that has been a major upgrade. And I said, if they could get to the 21st or 22nd best offensive line, what a difference that would make. Well, some people will tell you they're 12th or 13th best offensive line right now, and then you kind of understand why they've been scoring and moving the ball relatively well here early in the year.
Some people would also say that your point there is a subtle plea for the Patriots to use Travion Henderson more. I don't know. Maybe not. But, if you want to take advantage of a good line, right, Mike? Maybe is it time for Henderson?
He's been a little impatient as a runner, and I think they're still trying to get him to. He's obviously got this great speed, but settle down just a little bit. Give it another heartbeat, and then that cut that you make, you have already the defender will be getting blown out, and then you're cutting up and you're finding more room to run. And then obviously, as we know, that speed to get to the second level is real. They just haven't been able to find it just yet, but they're still pleased with him. They still think they can get him where we saw him in the summer.
With Mike Giardi, Boston Sports Journal. Mike Schopp and the Bulldog here on WGR. Of course, this is also Stephon Diggs' first game back in Buffalo since leaving the Bills. They faced him last year when he played for Houston, and then he was hurt after that. But, there'll be some emotions probably in this game and in the crowd Sunday night. How has Diggs looked to you?
He doesn't look as explosive, which I guess is not a surprise, right? Considering it's not even been a year since the ACL injury. But I got to tell you, I was surprised that he was ready to go from week one. And what he has proven to be thus far is a very reliable guy and someone that has already developed a good rapport with Drake May. I think I want to say it's 22 targets this season, 19 catches.
Okay.
And obviously he had the breakout game against Carolina. Some of that was Carolina. But also a credible 33-yard back shoulder throw from him and Drake that sort of illustrates where that relationship is at. And if he can continue to be, I don't think he has to be a 100-yard guy every week, but if he can continue to give them in that 5-6 catch range and be someone who moves the chains. I mean, you've watched this offense the last however many years and looked at that position. I think every time we talk, we're like, that position is not good. Mm-hmm. He puts them in a place where they may not be good, but they're a hell of a lot better than where they've been, and that's also making a difference.
And the tight ends have been good, really good. I mean, and it's funny, they're both veteran guys. And for me, I mean, I don't know, this doesn't have to mean anything to anyone else. Hunter Henry and Austin Hooper have been guys that I would easily confuse with one another, thinking about tight ends in the league, and they're on the same team now, which I think helps.
It's that H.
Right?
Yeah. And it's a big it's always been a big part of McDaniel's offenses, you know, and I mean, you can go back to Gronkowski and Hernandez, and those are two different, different breeds on a lot of different fronts, obviously. But, like, that's always been what they wanted to do. They've run a lot of 12 personnel this year. In fact, I think sometimes they've been a little stubborn with it because I don't know that either one of those guys is really would even be an average blocker at this point in their careers. But that's something that they like to live in. But they are reliable. The quarterback trusts them greatly. And, you know, it's funny, every week they've had someone different lead the team in receiving. It was Booty in week 1. It was Ramondre in week 2. Then it was Hunter in week 3 going crazy. And then it was Diggs in week 4. But then sprinkled in there, you know, the touchdown to Hunter last week, big 24-yard tight end screen to Austin Hooper. Like, they get those guys involved and like to keep them involved over the course of the game. And I think the quarterback likes it.
Should be Henderson in week 5, by the way. I'll just say that again.
All right.
Slipping that in.
Stumping for Henderson. Fantasy interests here, Mike. How about on the other side of the ball here? Gonzalez back last week. How did he look, and is he, all systems go moving forward?
Yeah, he looks fine. I mean, he pretty much played a full workload until the game was out of reach, and then they took him out. I think it was 48 or 49 snaps. They didn't do, not that necessarily Carolina's offense requires anybody to travel with anyone, although Tet's not bad, McMillan. But, like, they played sides, and they didn't go crazy with man-to-man stuff. But he recovered well. He says he feels fine this week, expects, that he's capable of doing all the stuff he's doing. And this is kind of how they built their defense, right? Like, they wanted a strong interior, and they've been getting that with Barmore and Milton Williams, although, as you guys mentioned in the update there, Williams did not practice today, and that's a concern because I'm assuming that happened in practice yesterday because we talked to him before practice on Wednesday, and he was in great spirits and moving fine. And then we didn't see him at all today in the locker room, and he wasn't out at practice. That would be a tough blow for them if they don't have him. But it's those two interior guys, and then it's the two corners. As Mike Vrabel said, we want to play cat coverage. You got this cat, I got that cat. They haven't had that until last week. They didn't have to deploy it that way last week against Carolina, and maybe they look at Buffalo and say, who's the number one? But there's also, in money downs, that's where you can start to do some of that stuff too. They didn't, like I said, they didn't do it last week, but I could see them like, we fear Kincaid on third downs. We might move one of these guys over Kincaid on a third down, or whatever the Khalil Shakir, whatever they think is the danger zone there in those spots that they might do that.
You mentioned Barmore. Is he fine? There was last year blood clots, like serious health issues. Yeah. He's all good.
Yeah, it's interesting. They managed him all spring and summer, and even during the course of the first 4 weeks of the season, he's missed a day of practice. And it's not a health thing. It's just they go whatever maintenance. So they did a lot with that over the summer, where it was like, yeah, he's practicing today, but not really. He's working one-on-ones with one of the pass rush specialist guys and not participating in team drills and things like that. So I don't know if that's a result of what happened. My guess is it is. He doesn't want to talk about it anymore, so you can only get so far with that. Mm-hmm. But last week he chewed up Carolina, and granted it was against backups because Robert Hunt is on IR, but that's the thing that you're supposed to do, right? When you're paid that kind of money, you're that type of impact player like he was in 2023. You're supposed to take the lesser guy and throw him around, and they did, and then that opens things up for Williams. And when they're doubling Williams, which has been more of what's happened over the first 4 weeks, then it's Barmore getting the single blocks and causing havoc. So it's been a good combination. As Williams was telling me yesterday, he's like, I told you guys since the day they signed me, there's going to be pick your poison. You can't double both of us. You just can't do it. So they got to pick, and when they pick, it's up to the other guy to make them pay, and they've done a pretty good job of that so far.
Last thing, Mike, quickly, the Bills so far, 4-0, and I'm not going to try to tell you, which you already know, about how just in a given week things can really look different than the week before, like thinking of the AFC and the league. But there's a feeling, I think, maybe around football, like if it's not their year this year, when will it ever be, given how Kansas City and Baltimore, the starts they're off to?
I wonder and you guys are obviously much closer to it every single day, but I still wonder about the defense a little bit. And I know there's injuries, but you start to wonder, Matt's probably never going to be fully healthy. That's just maybe the track of his career now. And those sorts of things, are they a playmaker short on defense would be my concern for them, or are they maybe not stout enough on the interior, and teams are being able to run on them. Like, that's going to be a question that Brandon Beane's going to have to answer probably soon. I know they get a couple guys back off suspension list, and maybe that makes. But if I was him, I'd keep an eye on the market and see what's going on, because you're right. Everything's lining up for them just perfectly. Do you want to push it over that? You want to give yourself a little bit more ammunition as you go into the latter half of the season.
We'll talk about that some more here soon. Thank you, Mike. I'm not sure if you're making the trip, but looking forward to Sunday night.
I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Very good.
Looking forward to it. I get to say goodbye to, well, it's not Ralph Wilson anymore, but, I've said it a million times. It's one of my favorite places, if not my most favorite place to watch a game, because that crowd is crazy. And that environment's going to be awesome on Sunday night.
Yeah, it should be white out. Plus, you'll get to see the new place across the street as you sit from the press box, which is surreal, I think, to many of us.
Yep.
Very good. Thanks for your time as always, Mike.
Thanks, guys.
Mike Giardi, Boston Sports Journal, Bills and Patriots in Orchard Park Sunday night. Yesterday, I guess it was a caller who brought up the trade deadline, and then other people started to bring up ideas, and here we are leaving our conversation with Mike talking about a piece on defense, which is kind of where your head was yesterday. 803-0550 if you want to get in on that. Mike Schopp and the Bulldog here. Sal at 5. This is WGR.
Two players did not practice for the Bills today. Linebacker Dorian Williams with a knee, and a new addition, cornerback Dorian Strong with a neck injury. Defensive tackle TJ Sanders, also a new addition, though he's limited with the knee, and he joins Ed Oliver, Matt Milano, Spencer Brown, and Jackson Hawes as limited participants. And then for the Patriots, it's defensive tackle Milton Williams with an ankle. He missed today after being limited yesterday. Do stay tuned. Coming up at just about 5 p.m., Sal Capaccio will join the show to give us the latest on the Bills. And the Barnes Firm Injury Report. It is brought to you by the Barnes Firm. Injured for help? Call 1-800-8-MILLION. Thursday Night Football tonight, just after 8 o'clock, the Rams will host the 49ers. You can listen to that game right here on WGR, starting at 7:30. And then for San Francisco, bad injuries again for them. Quarterback Brock Purdy and wide receivers Ricky Pearsall and Juwan Jennings already have been ruled out for tonight. And then over in baseball, 3-game threes, all winners will advance today. Currently going on, Tigers-Guardians, all square at 1 in the 5th. Coming up at 5, the Cubs will host the Padres. Then just after 8, the Yankees will host the Boston Red Sox. That's your Paddock Chevrolet Sports Headlines. Paddock Chevrolet celebrating 90 years of being your hometown dealership. I'm Zach Jones for WGR Sports Radio 550.
This is year 2 without Diggs. So it's not like world is going to make it the return of Diggs again. No, Diggs is our brother. Diggs is our teammate. Diggs is one of us, and we're a part of his journey just as well as he's a part of ours. He's helped us win a lot of games, and he's been through the struggles, the 13-second game, and like all that stuff. Like Diggs was here. We love Diggs. To the world, they look at it as entertainment of his, personal life, but he's a guy, and we love him as a football player and as a person.
Dion Dawkins, always Dion Dawkins. Is he the first Bills player you've ever heard to name 13 seconds in a comment?
I don't know, but boy, it's rare. I can't think of another one, but I wouldn't want to say I know it hasn't happened. Guys like Isaiah McKenzie have talked to Tyler Dunn about it at length. Levi Wallace, I think, did a sit down with Tyler about it. So, but man, it's rare. Whereas usually it comes up once a day in here. I'll say it just sorry. I don't hear guys on the team refer to it like that often.
Also, just like by name,
right?
I mean, the game is named that.
Right. That's what I mean. Yeah.
And, it's not common you'd hear a Bills player even, acknowledge it. Why would they, But Dawkins is just so real when these interviews. Yeah, well, come on, though, right? We can't just leave it at, Stephon Diggs is he's on our team. He's not on your team anymore.
No.
So, yes, you're right. He's part of the history. All that is correct. He's not on your team anymore, though. He's on the other team now. The team you're playing.
I didn't listen closely enough to hear if he actually did say that.
Yeah.
I know
he's one of us.
It's a part. Well, okay, right.
Too. He said that, too.
Yeah.
I mean, not really. Okay, well, thoughts from Mike Giardi's comments about May and the Patriots.
Interesting to hear him talk about how he can be at the start of games.
Yeah.
Right. And that, given this is a Sunday night game and it's against the king of the division and the reigning MVP and a guy that, any player in his second year who plays that position would be, maybe privately, maybe even outwardly, striving to be that guy. I want to be that guy. When I grow up, I want to be Josh Allen. And, I don't think he would put it exactly like that because he is a grown man playing in the NFL. But you are across the field from the dude that is doing the things that you have been dreaming of doing. And I just wonder, we used to see, it sounds like Mike is describing a little bit of, how do we refer to it here? Sugar Rush Josh or something. When Josh Allen was younger, there was the Houston playoff game comes to mind, the Jet opener against Aaron Rodgers. He's just like really wired. And it seems like what are you doing? Like, I remember that Jet game, him trying to jump over 3 guys when he wasn't even close to getting the first down. Like, what are you doing? Just chill out, like just you're not accomplishing anything by throwing yourself around like that. And it sounds like May maybe has that trait right now, and it hasn't been, matured out of him, coached out of him yet. So maybe something to really watch early in the game, because if the guy's going to be guilty of being jacked up, for a Sunday 1 o'clock game against whoever, I would think 8:20 under the lights on Sunday Night Football against the Bills and Josh Allen. If you worry about a guy getting too high, maybe that's something to, capitalize on early in the game. Catch him in a mistake and see if you can't, score a quick early punch.
It's one thing about the Bills, one of many things to like about them for a long time, is they start great. I mean, they've scored. Have they scored on every first possession this year? Maybe. Like, they don't have a tough time getting going. It's when have they struggled? In the middle of games.
Right.
Even with Baltimore, they kept pace until, the third quarter, and then the Ravens pulled away, and, of course, the Bills caught up. But early in games, maybe, who knows? Do they does New England need a fast start to win? Not necessarily. New Orleans, Miller scored pretty early in the game, but the Bills got out, and New Orleans kind of almost made it back. They got within 2. So always better to start well, though, and the Bills do that, most of the time. Mike Schopp and the Bulldog here. Sal Capaccio at 5. This is WGR. Mike Schopp and the Bulldog, welcome back. Sal Capaccio in 20 minutes or less. It is time now for The Line, presented by FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Each Thursday at this time, as you know, if you go way back with us, we talk about the game coming up and our favorite ideas for maybe a play in this game, or 2 or 3. And so here we go. Bills and Patriots Sunday night in Orchard Park. The line is 8.5. The Bills are favored now by 49.5. I think that's gone up a little bit. So
they're not favored by 49.5.
The total.
The total is 49.5.
Did I say 4? Well, it feels like it. But
8.5.
Thanks for the correction there.
Yep.
Good job. Good catch. Easy math, 28.5 to 21 would be your implied score in this game. So, again, we've got a Bills game where they're expected pretty much to score 30.
I would be very leery of going with the number here, betting the Bills minus the number. It's just a big number, and I think it's going to be a very competitive game. I mean, I suppose I could be wrong, and the Bills could just blow them out. I'd be stunned if New England did that to them, but I'm expecting, 30-24 type game. That's as big as I could see it getting. I think New England will get points in this game. I might like what did you say the number was? 48.5?
49.5.
49.5. I think I could get to that, but I wouldn't really want to mess with the line there. So if you're interested in putting something together, there's always the James Cook touchdown, but that's minus 220. If you want to venture into first touchdown, that's a little juicier, obviously, but that's a bet that ends pretty early in the day. If he doesn't get it, you're kind of out of luck.
Still,
but I would maybe look at who's going to get the bulk of the carries for New England. That might be a little bit of a puzzle. We don't know with the rookie there and with Stevenson there. But man, if you can settle on believing one guy or the other will be favored, I would maybe look at some yardage totals there, because the Bills are vulnerable to giving up rushing yards. They have been all year long, and I would expect New England to try to exploit that with maybe both guys even. I don't know if you can find both guys, pair them both over 50 maybe. That might be a fun, alternate totals on both guys.
Yeah, interesting idea. Did both Saints guys get there last week?
Yeah,
Miller did.
They did, and the quarterback Rattler was just under 50. So they had 3 guys that were just about at 50 or more.
Okay, right. Looking at it. Rattler 49, Kamara 70, Miller 65. Well, New England has used all 3 guys. Ramondre Stevenson, Travion Henderson, the rookie, and also Antonio Gibson. So, okay, at one book where I'm looking now, you have Stevenson to rush for at least 40 yards is plus 162, and Henderson to do it is plus 228. So if you got both of those, that's a good win.
I would consider that. I might do that myself, even.
Well, do you have a Bills receiver you like? Whose turn is it?
Oh, boy.
Coleman? Or is that Gonzalez?
I don't know.
Kincaid?
They have not gotten Palmer really off at all, and he played so little last week. He was 25% snap share, I think. Feel like maybe that it's his turn. If I'm him, I might be looking at my Everybody Eats T-shirt or my Everybody Eats ball cap and going am I in Everybody? When do I get my turn at Everybody? So I might think about Palmer for that.
All right. I don't see numbers on him.
He doesn't rate.
Jeez. 5 for 61 in the opener, but 5 for 77 since.
Yeah.
If my math is right. All right. The Line presented by FanDuel every, as you know, traditionally Thursday at this time. Let's go to Chris here. Hi, Chris.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
You're welcome.
Hey, I hate to bring this up, but,
I
hesitate. We're 4-0. I just, after 4 games, roughly a quarter of the way through, our defense just does not look good at all. And I think for 4 or 5 years, we've been trying to make it better. And we haven't played anybody really strong except for Baltimore. At what point do we start? I just feel Josh bails us out game after game, year after year. At what point do we look at our head coach and say the defense is just not good enough? And I feel the writing's on the wall. We start playing these better teams later on, they're going to take it to us. Should I not be worried about that, or is that it just doesn't seem like our defense is where it needs to be, and I don't see it getting better.
Well, I wouldn't tell you not to be worried about the defense because there's no denying they're the worst in run defense. Their pass defense is very highly rated, but they haven't really been tested. So I wouldn't tell you not to be worried about it. We talk plenty about I'm worried about it. When we talk about trade ideas, I'm right to safety or edge rusher. So I'm thinking about it a lot. I don't know what to really do with hold the head coach accountable for it, though. I don't think he's going anywhere. This team is going to cruise to the playoffs, and they're not going to make a change if they lose in the playoffs because somebody scores more points than them. I don't think. So,
right.
Hold him accountable. Like, he'll get criticized. He does. And I'm not here to say that none of that's warranted, but I don't think talking about him being held accountable just leaves me at a dead end because I don't think there's anything short of a complete collapse here that results in what you're kind of suggesting, which is a change. I think when you say accountable, you mean a change, right?
Right. But, Chris, do you think that if you're the Pagulas, having arguably the best quarterback in the world, arguably, that we should just be happy with making the playoffs every year or getting somebody that could get us over the top with that defense? I mean, this is his specialty. And all those 4 playoff games we lost, 3 to KC, once to Cincy, our defense didn't show up. Josh had a heck of a game, all 4 games. Well, except for maybe for Cincy. But the other 3 games, he played out of his head. And is it his philosophy? Is it the draft? Is it a scheme? It just doesn't seem like it's getting better. And I worry about that. It's like, are we just going to be going through the motions for the next 10 years with the best quarterback in the world? I want to win one. I'd love to win one. And that's what.
Yeah, I hear you.
Know that this guy has it in him. I just don't know. Just food for thought. Food for thought.
Well, there's nothing to do about this now. I mean, there's no conversation about this in any sane world right now. When a caller calls in and says, I hate to bring it up. We didn't call you. Like, you chose to bring it up. So you might not hate to bring it up. I mean, there's nothing to talk about at the moment. We know, Bulldog even said it back to you, we know what the defense has looked like so far, but it's not really meaningful yet. And they haven't lost a game. I said before the season, this was my last year of kill it in the regular season, go to January and get shredded by Mahomes or Burrow or Jackson or someone else. Like, this is my last year. I'm on the hook for that. Like, I'm done after this year. If Allen, plays like he plays in the playoffs and they still lose. I mean, this is almost maybe unique in NFL history to have, if this happens again. Like, quarterbacks who lose in the playoffs are sometimes famous for it. And if you look them up, you might see why. Like, there's 3 picks, Peyton Manning before he won. Like, just there are really bad stat lines, and Allen doesn't have that. Like, that's not why the Bills have lost. So one of these years, yeah, you have to do it. But to say I wouldn't be happy, I doubt the Bills are happy, or satisfied with it going the way it's gone. It does have to change. And I'll hopefully be here when we get to that point and see and have those conversations. But there's nothing to do about it now. I mean, they're not nobody's making a coaching change now. They're undefeated.
Yeah. The best I could do to, I guess, and I've been talking about this, I think, all through this already here because the defense comes up most weeks. I mean, they gave up 41 points in the opener and still won. Miami, didn't put up a ton of yards, but they converted a bunch of third downs and yada, yada. There's been problems in every one of these games, really, except the Jet game where they just suffocated the Jets and knocked the quarterback out of the game eventually. But they've got people coming back. The suspended guys, the rookie corner, and Oliver Milano, like, they haven't had their full deal on the field really yet. So that can give you some hope that it's going to be different. Like, the thing that makes me feel good about it all right now is that they're 4-0 despite all that. Despite the flaws the defense has, they've banked these wins, and hopefully they can keep doing that and then get either healthier or get people back and not suffer other injuries and just have some semblance of their top defense. I mean, every one of these games, especially the last 2 years, they're playing with Kyer Elam against the Chiefs. The year before that, it's A.J. Klein. Like, there've been some very difficult circumstances, personnel-wise, in those playoff losses defensively.
Yeah, but good luck to you if you have your whole starting lineup intact.
That's right.
Because, I think most of the time, teams probably don't. We'll see. Thank you, Chris. Sal Capaccio next. This is WGR.
Practice for the Bills today. Linebacker Dorian Williams with a knee. It's a second straight day for him. Then a new addition, cornerback Dorian Strong with a neck injury. Defensive tackle TJ Sanders, also a new addition, was limited, and he joins Ed Oliver, Matt Milano, Spencer Brown, and Jackson Hawes as limited participants. While for the Patriots, defensive tackle Milton Williams with an ankle missed today after being limited yesterday. Stay tuned. Coming up next, Sal Capaccio will join the show. And a reminder that the Barnes Firm Injury Report is brought to you by The Barnes Firm. Injured for help? Call 1-800-8-MILLION. Thursday Night Football tonight, just after 8, we'll get Week 5 underway. The Rams host the 49ers. You can listen to the game right here on WGR starting at 7:30. And for the 49ers, more brutal injuries. Quarterback Brock Purdy and wide receivers Ricky Pearsall and Juwan Jennings already ruled out for this evening. Staying with injuries, Ravens without quarterback Lamar Jackson again at practice. They also had safety Kyle Hamilton go from limited to not practicing today. He's dealing with a groin injury. And then just a few minutes ago, the Commanders ruled out wide receivers Terry McLaurin and wide receiver Noah Brown. They are not going to be traveling to L.A. to play the Chargers. Then in baseball, 3-game threes. Winners all advance, currently going on right now. Tigers up 2-1 on Cleveland in the 7th. Coming up in just a few minutes, the Cubs will be hosting the Padres. Then at 8, the Yankees will host the Boston Red Sox. That's your Paddock Chevrolet Sports Update. Paddock Chevrolet celebrating 90 years of being your hometown dealership. I'm Zach Jones for WGR Sports Radio 550.
Sal Capaccio. It's Sal Capaccio. 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 Sal Capaccio.
Yet another
WGR.
beautiful day in the area. Mike Schopp and the Bulldog here. Bills and Patriots. Sunday night. It should be great. Sunday night as well. All weekend. With us now on the Wester Hotline, noted Yankees fan, Sal Capaccio, Bulldog in here with his Red Sox hat. I already mentioned this to Bulldog, Sal. Like
3 days in a row, Sal, I'm wearing this hat.
He might be, I think it's almost a sure thing, like more of a casual fan these days than you are. But like if you don't feel that rivalry right now, you're just, oh my God, it's over. I mean, you need to be feeling it right now, I think.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not a casual fan. I don't consider myself. I'm pretty like I was literally yelling at my television for Jazz Chisholm to score last night. Like, it was pretty intense at my house, to be honest with you. It's tough these days when you get older to invest your time and energy as much into those things, especially when they're 6 hours away from you, right? I totally get that. But I mean, that was intense last night. I mean, every pitch hanging on it, and then tonight will be in. I find it fascinating that it's two rookie pitchers both making their MLB postseason debut in a situation like this.
At least your guy, I've watched your guy pitch 3 or 4 times this year. I honestly, before last night, had never heard of Connolly Early. I missed it. I missed his arrival. There was a guy that got in last night that pitched the last inning for Boston. I'd seen him. I was excited about him. I'm having trouble remembering his name right now, but he's like a big mustache, hunk of meat guy that just looks like out of a movie. This guy I have no idea about, but I mean, go get him, kid.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I didn't really know much about him either. Hadn't really paid attention to him and his career and him coming up, like you said, when that was. I do remember a while ago there was a talk about a Red Sox rookie. Maybe it was him. I thought it was somebody else, but either way, I know obviously Schlittler for the Yankees. You got to be careful when you say it.
Good,
Schlittler
very good.
Yeah. He's been very good so far in his young career, right? But these are, who knows? You get in a situation like this, anything can happen. It's a one-game situation, and I actually think that you could. I'm wondering if both managers will kind of be really aggressive to just, you got to make a change early if it starts to get away. I think you have to do that. But both teams have used their bullpen a little bit here, so that's going to be interesting too.
Yeah, the Red Sox really got after it last night. I mean, they went to the pen in the 3rd, but nobody really went long except for the guy that got touched up at the end, Whitlock, I think. So I don't know if he'll be available tonight, but I would guess maybe everybody else is fine. But who knows?
What about Crochet?
Peyton Tolley is the guy you're thinking of, by the way. He pitched last night, and he was the rookie. He showed showed up and just looked great right out of the box, but that fire went out, and he's not getting the call tonight. What about Crochet? That's right. I wonder if they could turn to him in the fifth or something.
Well, we're watching Detroit-Cleveland, and we have the sound down. I don't know if they're talking about this or what was said before the game, but I'm wondering about Skubal. Detroit is up 2-1. It's the seventh. They've got 2 on. Maybe they had the lead, but wouldn't you think you have to win? Like, wouldn't you think?
Yeah. 2 days later. I mean, it's
2
crazy,
days later.
Right? Think about it. I'm thinking about him that too. But I mean, man,
Crochet threw 117 pitches.
Yeah, Crochet threw a lot of pitches, though, man.
Yeah. But I think isn't 2 days later when they throw on the side? So maybe
I don't know. It's a good question. I would say this though for the bullpen point. I think the Red Sox are better late inning than the bullpen than the Yankees because both Cruz and Bednar have pitched both games so far. So that could really fall in their favor. So we'll see about that.
Well, I'm over. I guess I don't have the Blue Jays on today. I've got the Sabres on today, but my Blue Jays, my bandwagon. Asterisk.
Well, Sal, they had. I don't know how you are at waiting through sports events that are going to go past 11 o'clock. But I did not really need an 8 o'clock start time. I'm not surprised. It's the Red Sox and the Yankees. And you're going to put a game there. Maybe if the Dodgers had needed a game 3, we'd have gotten an earlier start for this. But here we are. So, I was loving the 6 o'clock starts these last 2 nights.
Oh yeah,
yeah, that was the case. It was if the Reds had won the Yankees. Everything would have been the same today as they were the first 3 days.
Sorry.
The first 2 days. So, yeah, I know. So I'm thinking, all right, go Reds, because it was really nice being at 9 o'clock at night and watching the game. And, late in the game, you're like, wait, it's over. It's 9 o'clock. That's not bad.
It is so good.
Right.
I had it on, and it might have been the 7th inning, and I looked at the clock, and it was 8:18. I'm like, oh, this is the best. It's 8:18. Right. It's dark out, but it's 8:18.
Like,
love Central Time. It's like life in the Central Time Zone here for a couple of days there.
Yeah.
All right, Sal. So Bills-wise, let's talk injuries first. What, if anything, is new today?
Couple things new today. Dorian Strong, rookie cornerback, did not practice today due to a neck injury, and not sure when that happened. He was out at practice yesterday. He was not on the injury report. Shows up as a DNP today. So, again, that's a pretty significant thing to be aware of. It's a neck injury, and that's always something you want to be really careful of. So we'll see where it goes. It could be a sore neck, right? And maybe he's back tomorrow. Who knows? But we'll get an injury report from Sean McDermott early tomorrow on the Extra Point Show when I'm on. We'll find that out about that. And same thing with TJ Sanders, but he was limited. So did something happen today at practice where he was limited, or is it a situation where, it's just something going on where they're dealing with it and they wanted to, like AJ Epinesa last week, right? We're like, okay, what happened? It doesn't have to mean something happened at practice. It could literally be like he was sore, showed up and they said, let's just take a little off you today, right? So we'll find out more tomorrow. So that's not good news. Neither is Dorian Williams not practicing today, again, for a second straight day. So I think he's trending towards, being out of this game on Sunday night. That being said, good news that Spencer Brown, Jackson Hawes, Matt Milano, Ed Oliver, all limited for a second straight day. And we'll see if any of them are actually playing or all of them. But I would sense that if not all 4, at least maybe 3 of the 4 would be playing on Sunday night.
Yeah, it's so hard. How good are you at watching guys? This came up, I know you brought it up last week one day when Hairston made his return and was doing the exercises in the brace. And some people on Twitter were like, oh, my God, he looks like he's so broken still. And I'm watching Ed Oliver. I'm watching Matt Milano. And I don't know. I can't really discern any hesitation or any favoring or anything. How decent do you think you are at ascertaining whether a guy is trusting the injured part of his body?
I don't think I'm very good at it because everybody's body is different. And even if I think I'm seeing something, I try never to speculate, to be honest with you. I just think you just don't want to go down that road. Why do that? You'll turn yourself in knots. You don't know. Everybody's different. You don't know what they're necessarily always dealing with. You could say ankle, you could say knee, and you don't know, is it inside, is it outside, what part of it is it on? They're not giving you all that information. So to be quite honest, I just I know everybody wants the information. You put this stuff out there. I show video of Ed Oliver. I show a video of Matt Milano. Everybody's dissecting it. Do you think he'll play on Sunday night? Well, how the heck do I know, right? I mean, I don't know. I'm not in the guy's body. I can't tell you what he's feeling like. I mean, sometimes you see a guy and he's out there. The only time I would tell you is if they're in a boot, they're not practicing and all that kind of stuff. But
Right.
and when they're out there working, I don't think I'm good at discerning it because I just know as an athlete and the human body, the way it goes, but also because I'll be honest with you, I just think it's reckless to do, to be quite honest with you, right? It's not my place to kind of judge that. It's really more of let's wait on what they tell us and what the team tells us.
Well, we know that Max Hairston isn't ready. There's no guessing on that one. I don't know that we brought this up yesterday, maybe should have, but the news that all three guys that are on the IR designated to return list are not ready to return, even to practice. And most notably, Hairston here. Sal, that's a bit of a letdown.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, if you were hoping that he would be ready to come back right now, then I agree with that. I don't know when the injury happened and it's a sprained, knee, sprained LCL, and you know that it looked pretty bad when it happened. I don't know what the anticipation was or the expectation was. I guess the hopeful optimism, sure though, would be, Mike, that you start to see him after 4 weeks on the field. But let's remember they have only 21 days to put him on the active roster once he does start practicing. So I think you want to be careful with how you do that. And you want to make sure, really sure, that if you're going to start practicing him, he's ready to practice. Because if he starts practicing when he's not, if he starts practicing just because you think you have a ramp up in 3 weeks and he's not actually quite ready, he could re-injure it, and then you're back at square one, and then you lose him for the year. So I think this comes down to really what your expectation was. And let's remember, they do have a bye week.
I was just going to say, I wonder if the bye plays into their thinking at all, that that's on the horizon. Like, let's just get there. Everybody gets in a little extra time to make sure they're good. And we avoid what you just described, and then everybody's back.
Those days count in the 21 days with or without a game? Okay.
They do. 21 days. No matter if you have a game or not, it's 21 days. So I do think the bye week would count there, and they're not even really practicing for a bunch of that bye week. So how can you even watch the guy?
Right.
Now he can stay back in rehab. He can do that, but they're not practicing as a team. So at that point, you might be like, well, let's just wait so we can get full, more data as far as all that is concerned, and we can get them on the field. And that's the same thing with Hoyt and Ogunjobi. I mean, they're allowed to come back. After week 6, they can start practicing. That was something that I clarified, and we see now they couldn't start practicing after week 4. Originally, I thought that was based on the suspension, but it is after week 6. But they do have until week 8 to play because the team doesn't have a game week 7. So that will help them a little bit as far as getting a little bit more ramp-up time.
Do you have a feeling on what they'll do with Bass? Like, is the job his when he's ready, or not necessarily?
Yes, I think the job is his. The question I have is, when will he be ready? If he's ready in a week, I think that the job is his when they feel that he went through a good week of practice and he's ready to play. If that's a month from now, I think that's the case. I think Sean McDermott kind of indicated that himself last week, Mike, to be honest. Like, when you listen to him talk, he was a little bit more kind of firm on Bass coming back than he was on Hairston. Remember when he said if with Hairston last week and everybody was dissecting that? When and if he comes back, he sounded a little bit more like, yeah, Tyler will be back and it's his job when he comes back. But he didn't say when. And I keep thinking to myself, boy, you have Matt Prater's doing a nice job. He is getting a little bit older. Like, what happens when the weather turns and it gets a little windier? Like, are they going to want to make sure and they want to have the younger, stronger leg? Even though this guy's kicked a lot of 50-plus yard field goals in his life, he's not the same kicker these days, right? With the same power probably. So what does that look like in late November? And to me, it might be, we'd really like to have Tyler Bass by then. Let's see if he gets healthy by then, because that's going to be his job.
Sal, recognizing that you only get to watch the small portion of practice that you do along with everyone else in the media, I'm wondering, there's been so much talk about the Bills missing tackles. And, I listen to Brownie and Tasker usually on my way in. And, Steve makes the point all the time about just how different. I think Eric Wood touched on this too with us on Monday. Just even training camp, you're not live. There's no real opportunity to practice tackling. And so it can be sloppy, especially at the beginning of some of these seasons. If the Bills wanted to sort of get to work on that, how might they go about it? in advance of a game here. We got another scrambling quarterback. They got hurt by Rattler last week in the running game in general with New Orleans. Here comes a three-headed running back room with Gibson and Stevenson and Henderson and, of course, the quarterback. If they want to work on tackling in a week before a game, what do?
It's a good question. And they do work on tackling in this regard, which is they attack bags. I have a video of Matt Milano today, actually, tackling a bag. And yesterday, the one yesterday, he's literally going to the ground. They call that the gator roll. So you hit, and like you're wrestling a gator. That's why they call it that, right? So you attack the bag, and as you hit the bag, you roll, as if you're fighting a gator. So it's called the gator roll tackle. Today it was really kind of, a lift, right? You're lifting up, and you're grabbing that guy. You're going right through him, and you're lifting him up off the ground. And that's what you saw today. And they can do that. They have drills like that. They have, while you're not going live, you can go and, go against, see a guy across from you and kind of do a form tackle, wrap up, like an up thud, we call it. You're just thudding. You're not really driving the guy. So those are things you can do. I think the biggest thing you have to diagnose what the problem is. Like, why are they missing tackles? Is it because they're right in position and they're arm tackling, and it's like, oh, you're not putting your face mask where it's supposed to be, your head, your shoulder, all that? Is it that you're not taking a proper angle? I think that's something I've seen sometimes. Those are things you can work on too, taking the proper angles. I think the biggest thing that I've really seen that's hurt the Bills this year, guys, I think sometimes they just aren't under control when they get to where they're supposed to get to. And I see this, and I saw this with Joey Bosa last week on a play, for example. It's not just him, but it's a good example. Alvin Kamara has a ball in the backfield. You remember this. Kamara's going to the left. I mean, Joey Bosa has him. And because Bosa's going 100 miles an hour because he's taught to do that, to go after the ball carrier, suddenly he just can't break down. He can't make the tackle. And suddenly Kamara, because he's going also 100 miles an hour, he can get out of that. Do you remember a couple of weeks ago, Tre'Davious White blitzes off the edge, and he has Tua right there, right? All he has to do is get to Tua and take him down. But he's going so fast that while Tua spins, he has no way to corral him. And I know in football more than anybody that you got to teach to go super fast. But there is a point that comes where you have to break down, and you have to be able to get under control when you go to tackle somebody. And even if you don't get them down, that hopefully can help the cavalry arrive, and they can help bring them down. So to me, I think you just have to diagnose the problem. Is the problem a simple fundamental of tackling, which is we're not doing this correctly? Is the problem taking a proper angle? Is the problem breaking down a little bit? And I think that's where the Bills have to go, but it has been an issue so far.
Sal Capaccio on the Wester Hotline. Drake May, Patriots quarterback, likely to be the second of 3 second-year quarterbacks in a row that the Bills face here, with Spencer Rattler last week and Michael Penix a week from Monday night. What do you think of May, Sal? We talked about New England in the offseason a lot, and I made the point a few times. Everybody seems on board with him, which is a little bit much to what was to my ears for a guy that, had a pretty okay rookie season. But, I think maybe there's been enough so far this year that most people who would have been in that camp in the first place are impressed even more.
I like him a lot. He's a good athlete. I liked him coming out in college. Thought that if he got to the right spot, if he got to the right people, that would really help him. Maybe not as much as first year, but he still had a nice rookie year. I thought he did some really nice things. He's got a good coach now. He's got a good organization around him with Mike Vrabel coming in there. So I think he's on a good development track. But other than that, I like his talent a lot. He's a good passer. I believe Chris Brown had the stat he shared with Sean yesterday in our media when he asked Sean a question. He said something like Drake May has the best third down efficiency of any quarterback in the NFL. It doesn't mean the Patriots are overall the best in third down. They are good, but third down efficiency of any quarterback. I think that says a lot. He understands what to do with the ball in those situations, how to get first downs, where to find, the right people. I do think it's interesting that overall they are just very, very tight end reliant and even running back reliant throwing the ball. He doesn't throw the ball downfield very much. Like, his average depth of target is pretty much near the bottom of most starters in the league. And if you look at their target share, you look at their receptions, it's Stephon Diggs, who had a really good game last week. He has 19 catches. Their next guys, ready? Hunter Henry, 15, tight end. Trayvon Henderson, running back, 13. Ramondre Stevenson, running back, 11. And then it's Keyshawn Boot with a 10 as their next wide receiver. Then Austin Hooper is next after that with 7. And then it's Mac Hollins, 7 for 42, like, is your next receiver. So I I'm not criticizing at all. I think that's a fine way to do it because he's a young quarterback and he's finding these guys. But man, Hunter Henry, he is relying on him a ton. His running backs, and that's okay. But I think that if I'm a Patriots fan, you might want to see a little bit more of that. But in the meantime, he's coming along fine. He's making the right decisions.
How about on defense here? Gonzalez being back is big, and Barmore healthy in the middle of that line. Like he's a part of that group of DTs that showed up same time as Oliver, right? Quinnen Williams in New York, Christian Wilkins in Miami, and Barmore. I'm not sure if it's all the same class, but it was close enough. Where I thought like we've all got this whole division is just full of these defensive tackles here. He had a rough go last year, but he's been, from what I've been reading, pretty disruptive for them.
Yeah, Milton Williams has been really good for them, and he
missed again today.
Well, he didn't miss yesterday. He was limited yesterday.
Right, but he missed today.
And then he missed today, which is interesting to me, right? Which is, does that mean he had a setback with his ankle, or does that mean they just gave him a day off? Because that could be the case, right? So that's something really interesting to watch. Milton Williams, a defensive tackle. Yeah, they're very, very good against the run, by the way. This is going to be one of those, okay, we do it really well, and you stop it really well. The Bills are very good running the football. We know that. They have the number 1 rushing yards per game team in the league. They're 163 yards by far. Their per play average is close to 5, 7th best in the league. On the other side, the Patriots are stopping the run, the 2nd best in the league, 77 yards a game and only 3.3 yards a carry. That is a really low number. But now, part of this is Gonzalez being out. There's no doubt, but he came back last week. The Patriots have been beaten through the air. They are near the bottom in the league in most passing metrics right now. And good weather Sunday night. I wonder if this is a game where the Bills feel we're going to attack them through the air. Maybe that will help open up the running game with James Cook. The Bills already want to run the ball and think they can against anybody anyway, I'm sure, right? But maybe this is a game where you feel you can kind of do something through the air, and then the Patriots have to kind of back off a little bit on what their bread and butter is on defense.
Very good. Thank you, Sal. We'll talk again tomorrow.
You got it, guys. Thanks.
That is our Sal Capaccio on the Wester Hotline. His appearances are always brought to you by New York's only outlet liquor. When you need to stock up, it's the place to buy a case. What's your outlet?
I thought about saying good luck tonight, but I'm with Boston emotionally.
Oh, look at you.
2 teams I hate.
Yeah.
I usually will go for the road team.
All right. Yeah.
And the Red Sox are a little bit, I don't really want to even say it, a little bit more of an underdog.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
lately.
What is their,
but they choose to be.
Who are these guys is a question you could ask. I mean, there's not a household name. Well, Trevor Story and Bregman are names in the league. Everybody else, I've just gotten to know everyone else in that lineup barely just in the last few months. The right fielder, Eaton. Who? What? Who are you? I don't. The guy that had the double on Tuesday night, Sogard. What? So yeah, there's the days of Mookie Betts and David Ortiz and Pedroia. Like they don't have stars anymore. Really, Roman Anthony's the biggest star they've got now, and he's hurt. He's not. And they talked about him last night on the broadcast, and it doesn't sound like even if they were to get to the World Series, he'd make it back. There's another guy down there in Florida rehabbing with him that's also a highly touted kid, but I can't remember his name. He might get back if they make it into, say, the championship series, I think.
Roman Anthony, Buffalo ties, I recently learned.
Right, you mentioned that to me the other day off the air, right?
Lots of relatives, I guess.
All right.
Eaton. I don't know. I don't have it. Sir Dennis Eaton Hogg is who comes to mind, but this is not the guy on the Red Sox.
No.
Sir Dennis Eaton Hogg.
What is that from?
Spinal Tap.
That's what I didn't want to.
He's like a
wrong,
producer or somebody.
Right. He's
at the party.
He's he's the blonde-haired older guy. Yeah.
Sir Dennis Eaton Hogg. All right, sorry about that. All right, timeout. 803-0550, Mike Schopp and the Bulldog, WGR.
Two players did not practice for the Bills today. Linebacker Dorian Williams with a knee, and then a new addition to the injury report, cornerback Dorian Strong. He's dealing with a neck injury. TJ Sanders, also a new addition today. He was limited, also with a knee injury. He is joined by Ed Oliver, Matt Milano, Spencer Brown, and Jackson Hawes as limited participants today. While on the Patriots side of things, defensive tackle Milton Williams with an ankle missed after being limited yesterday. Sal Capaccio has more on practice from earlier today up at our website, WGR550.com. And the Barnes Firm Injury Report is brought to you by the Barnes Firm. Injured for help, call 1-800-8-million. Week 5 gets underway later tonight, though, with Thursday Night Football. 8 o'clock kickoff, Rams hosting the 49ers. You can listen to that game right here on WGR starting at 7:30. For San Francisco, some brutal injuries. Quarterback Brock Purdy and wide receivers Ricky Pearsall and Juwan Jennings already have been ruled out for tonight. Starting at quarterback for San Fran will be Mac Jones. And then staying with some injuries, Ravens, they're going to be without quarterback Lamar Jackson, at least again at practice today, and he is joined by safety Kyle Hamilton, who goes from limited to not practicing today. He is dealing with a groin injury. Then in baseball, 3-game threes, the winners will advance. Tigers, they open it up in the 7th. They now lead 6-1 over Cleveland in the 8th. Padres and Cubs are scoreless in the 2nd. And then coming up just after 8 o'clock, Yankees, they're going to host the Boston Red Sox. That's Paddock Chevrolet Sports Headlines. Paddock Chevrolet celebrating 90 years of being your hometown dealership. I'm Zach Jones for WGR Sports Radio 550.
Known through the same agency, got to know him, and we share a lot of the same things. We like playing golf, and just hopefully, he's very down to earth. I like to say I'm down to earth, but he's a great player. Golly, it's fun watching him. He makes some plays, every week that you're like, man, that's pretty cool. So he's the MVP of the league, and sadly to say it's fun to watch him, but we got to play him on Sunday, so a little different mindset.
Drake May, full name, Drake May. Huntersville, North Carolina, just turned 23 in August.
What a life. Good for him. 23, my God.
Your whole life is in front of you.
Everything is just laying there, man. That is awesome.
That's the new there's always a new catchphrase with the ADP chasing guys. And if, there's an injury, like a bad injury even, that's what they say now is your whole life is in front of you, buddy. Don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
They're thinking, oh, I'm out for the year. These guys are like,
I wonder.
You're young.
I wonder how much, man, a guy like him. I mean, he's playing Josh Allen and the Bills this week, prime time. The biggest show in town in football is Sunday Night Football. But I wonder in quiet moments, head hitting the pillow. You think if you think at all, like, man, I'm 23. Josh Allen was 3 years in, and he got like the first big contract, and now he's like, it must be hard to not get lost in that. He's already, richer than 90% of the population or more. Getting to the NFL and getting the first contract, right? But the second contract is like generational family wealth beyond like what I'd say your wildest dreams, but that's the dream. If you're that guy, you're an NFL quarterback that gets drafted in the first round and it goes pretty well. Year 1, year 2's off to a pretty good start. You're on track for $250 million or more. It's like, how do you sleep? How do you rest? It's got to be so hard to stay focused, I think. I wonder how many guys that sort of thought process creeps in and derail. Because it would ruin me. I mean, I just don't know how I would ever function. Be like, don't step wrong. Don't hurt yourself. Don't step on a nail. Don't trip on a Lego. Whatever. Just get me to that second contract. God, please, just get me to that second contract.
No Legos allowed in your house.
Right.
I stepped on my dog's little chew toy twice last night. I did it once walking away from the couch and then again walking back to the couch. I was like, Mike, you knew Blue Chew was there. I killed. Allen, whatever it is he's actually earning this year. I mean, they've messed around with his contract and their signing bonuses and guaranteed. The cap number is $36 million. he's probably north of that, but I don't know what the cash number is.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't he maybe at a point where he's making more off the field now? Like, he is in everything.
Yeah, he might be. I don't know how that kind of stuff used to get reported. Like, it was, I think, agencies, like agents and maybe the athletes themselves wanted it known. Like, this guy, like Tiger Woods, is making $100 million a year in endorsement money. I don't feel like I see those lists anymore or hear about them. So I don't know. Maybe it's because so many people got their fingers in it now that it's not even worth keeping track. But he might be.
He's just in every ad now.
Yeah, national stuff, local stuff. I mean, he is. Yeah, you watch a sporting event, you're seeing a couple, if not more than that, different Josh Allen ads.
Is he even in the candy bar one where the guy is talking to his kid and he's a Bills fan and he's distracted and he calls him Josh?
Yes.
Like he's in that.
I think he's in that.
It does seem just always that he pops up in a commercial.
Yeah.
And more often.
Yes.
So I don't know what that number is, but he might be making more away. Plus he's, invested and the new era thing.
Yeah.
Man, it's probably pretty good.
Yeah, it's going well, I think. Yeah.
Here's Benjamin next. Hello.
Hey, show, Bulldog. Big fan of you guys. How are you guys today?
Great. Thank you for calling. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Calling in from Orlando, but of course a Buffalonian through and through. Just wanted to revisit some calls from a caller about 30 minutes ago about the defense. Look, and I'll be the first to tell you, we are all lucky on this journey that we are on right now, right? What is our biggest fear, though, in the next 5 or 10 years?
That they don't get it done.
Not getting over the hump.
Right, of course, sure.
It's not getting over the hump. And, of course, it's been the defense. So I think revisiting the caller from earlier, defense is a concern right now. How many more times, and we're not going to solve this here, and I'm not asking for coaching changes midseason, anything like that. I didn't hear the caller ask for that earlier. But I'm curious to know how many more Kansas City defeats or another team when we don't show up defensively in the playoffs are we going to be comfortable with before we take a real hard look in the mirror on this topic?
I want to give you an answer, but I want to ask you a question before I give you an answer. What is an acceptable answer to this question in your mind? 1, 2,
0,
3. Like I don't know how to answer. It's the same question that came up earlier. Like I don't know what to tell you.
I would say, we obviously have a lot of younger players we drafted on defense. We want to give those guys time. I don't know. For me, maybe it's 1. I really don't know. That's why I wanted to ask the question. But I think with the shape the defense has been in, and again, I know we got Ed, I know we got Matt coming back hopefully this weekend. Max has been out. All players that we expect solid contributions from on each layer or level of the defense.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just concerned. And from a 5 or 10 year perspective, going back to the caller's comment, Allen is such an incredible athlete. I fear is sometimes as a fan base, we are just thrilled to be where we are. And I just don't want to continue to have that second place level of thinking in the coming years if this continues for another year or two. So.
Okay. I mean, the language, just like with the earlier caller, the language is always so careful. Is this caller talking about, as he said, looking in the mirror or firing Sean McDermott? You really are talking about a coaching change, not just thinking about it. Or as the earlier caller was talking about, do they want to win? Of course they want to win. Like say it, right? Like say it. I've said, for me, the answer is 0. I don't want to see another one. I would be at that point myself if the same thing happens again, because it's just really been the same result. And I think it's fair to put that on the defense. Yes, there have been injuries, but last year was really rough for my eyes. How it ended with as lousy as Kansas City was on offense pretty much all year. And they get to that game and they rough the Bills up with Juju Smith-Schuster and Kareem Hunt and I guess Worthy, but just I want to have seen that for the last time. Like that is the point of McDermott. He's built a tremendous operation. He's completely turned the Bills around. But to me, if the question isn't looking in the mirror, it's actually like, when are you making a change? I'd want to do it if it happens again. And I recognize how momentous that would be because of all the success he's had and they've had with him.
Yeah.
That's my answer.
Yeah. And is this where I give the speech again about having the ball at the Kansas City 30 2 years ago and at midfield last year? The defense did get them the ball back with a chance to win the game. I know what it looked like. I know the yards per play, and I know all of it. I mean, I've seen it. I've heard it from you. I've heard it from callers. I've seen it from Warren Sharp. I mean, I know the data. It's not complimentary. But in the NFL, like, how easily do you want them to beat the Chiefs? Do you want them to hold the Chiefs to 20 points? 15, 24? I mean, I don't know. All I know is I've got the ball with a RoboCop of a quarterback around the 2-minute warning, and a touchdown sends me to the Super Bowl or to the championship game 2 years ago. But same scenario, and it hasn't come through. And I don't know. I expect to win the game in that scenario. I don't know what the win probability is in either case. I don't remember it. I'm sure we could find it if we wanted, or if I wanted to look it up. But that's with the flaws and all. You've got the ball and your offense on the field. So get me another receiver. Get me a way to make that happen where I can score at the end and beat the Chiefs. I mean, however bad their year was, it's still Reed and Mahomes. They're going to have a good plan. And yes, I'd like to be better on defense, but I'm telling you, and I might be doing it wrong, but every single time I get on the field with them, if I've got the ball with a chance to beat them at the end, I'm signing for that. And it hasn't happened. So I don't know if it happens again, and I'm the one in here going, well, the offense had the ball with 1:10 to go at the 30-yard line, and they didn't get it done. I'm going to then listen to people complain about Sean McDermott's defense again. Okay. I mean, that's fine. You're not wrong to complain about it. It hasn't been good. But, man, when I've got a chance to win the game and the ball in that dude's hand, I think I should be able to do that. I should love my chances. And 2 years in a row, it has not happened.
This is when I also want to, this is like playing the hits, right? But I also want to say, we really don't need to be having this conversation right now. This is when you point out we're not going to make it to January.
Right.
Like, because you've turned this show on 2 days in a row at this time and heard us, discussing with callers whether they'll make a coaching change. I mean, it just seems mad, right? Like,
yes.
if we're talking about that here, who isn't? I know how it goes in sports. Like, that's kind of always almost within reach, no matter how good you think you have it. But really, hey, the first guy was like, I hate to bring it up. You called to bring it up. Like, you don't hate it that much. You wanted to have a conversation about McDermott, so you don't really seem to hate it because we didn't bring it up. And now we just sort of engage with it. This guy's referring to the earlier guy. Mm-hmm. It's sort of like a thing. That's how it goes.
It feeds itself.
That's how it goes, yeah. Because I don't think in a sane world that's really like what. And this guy was careful to say, I'm not saying they should do it now. Well, that's good because that's not happening, and that's not even remotely in the realm of possibility. Mike Schopp and the Bulldog back after this timeout here on WGR.
Well, we all know Buffalo's got New England this Sunday. How about making the game even more exciting with a shot at 25?
now 6-3 in the 9th in Cleveland. Here's Billy next. Hi, Billy.
Hey, guys, how are you? Listen, I just think everybody's got to sit back and relax a little bit. This firing this guy, doing this, the defense, that. Look, we're 4-0. Our two biggest rivals, and I think the only two teams in this division or in this conference, Baltimore and KC, are both 2 games behind us. I think we're going to look a little sloppy in these games where we're 10 and 12-point favorites. I don't think they get up for them, which they should, but I just think they're not coasting, but they're just not they're not playing their best right now because I don't think they have to. Look, you want to break this up because we can't seem to get to the end, then maybe a lot of Bills fans should start thinking about when we are looking up New England's backside for 10, 12, 13 years. I don't care if we get beat this year. I don't think we will, and I think we're winning the Super Bowl. But we're going to be there this year, next year, the year after that, and I don't think it's about firing this guy and firing that guy. I think we're right there. I think all we have to improve on, to me, one thing that I want to see out of this team, and I didn't like what happened when Josh got the ball with 3 minutes left, and everybody and their mother knew Kansas City was going to send the house 3 plays in a row. We have got to have that Kansas City play. You know which one I'm talking about? That trick play. That play where it comes out of your backside, no one sees it coming when you're in trouble, 3rd and 14, 3rd and 12, whatever. But other than that, everybody just calm down. I mean, even if we squeak by New England this weekend, I'm telling you guys, we're going to the Super Bowl, and this is the year, and I don't care how they play from now till the end of the year. That's it, guys.
Okay.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate it.
What does Fred eat?
I can pick it out at the pet store, but I don't know the brand. I buy his food. Been buying the same stuff for 3, 4, 5 years.
You make a point to buy the same thing?
Yes. He seems to like it. He never really very rarely gets sick or throws up or is anything alarming, right? Irregular in any way, right? Without getting too graphic.
No, please.
Maybe that's already too. So I buy not the I go to the pet store to get the no.
You go upscale?
Yeah.
All the way up?
Well, I don't know. A year or so ago, the dog food I bought was maybe like $85 a bag for the big,
the one that's almost too heavy.
Yeah, and that's now like $125.
Oh, wow. Didn't realize.
Yeah, the economy, everything's great though. Don't worry about it. So I can't think of the name of the
dogs are cheaper though.
Dogs are cheaper. You dogs get a better deal on dogs.
It evens out.
Why do you ask about what Fred eats? Is Margot particular?
Who knows? She won't say. I mean, I go to the same pet store, but I don't think I usually buy the same thing. And today, this is 2 questions, and this probably is I'm not going to have time. Today, though, I think I bought the one I bought because it looked good to me. It was like a picture of cut steak on the bag.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like,
you fell
how
for
is
that?
she not going to want this? I even said, I know the woman who works, like, Samantha, what dog would turn this down? But that's actually not what's in there. A perfectly cooked steak, right off the grill. That's actually not what's in that bag. It's kibble.
Yeah.
And I was in a big hurry, did other shows, and went to get my hair cut, then went to the pet store, and then back home before I came here. And it wasn't time to eat. But I wanted to see, and my wife was on a work call. I wanted to see her try it. I wanted her to try it because I know it was different. It's perfectly cooked steak, but so I just pulled out like 10 or 20 pieces in a little cup and dumped them on the floor right next to the bin. And I mean, what dog is not just gonna clean that up in like 10 seconds? But she did the thing where she does this with cauliflower, where she takes it and then she drops it. She takes a piece and then she drops it. Like she doesn't know. And I waited her out. And then eventually she took a piece and ate it, but she really had to, like, it was work to chew on it. Like, it was, I think it was hard work to eat this food. Maybe she didn't like the flavor either, but it was like one at a time she's eating it and like just it was a little bit of a job, it seemed. So I texted my wife, 5 hours ago, let me know if you're free for a conversation about what is going on with Margot's food, which I've not heard back. So I guess that's not interesting to her. She's too busy. But that's I'll get home to find out what happened there. I do want to ask, like, if you've ever been tempted to go to the fresh food. Like, there's all these ads now for the fresh food.
I have been. I've been even asked about it here if I want to do it, and I always say yeah, but it never has come through. Like the Farmer's Dog or one of them. Yeah, I don't know.
Fresh Pet.
Yeah, right. But
I don't think it's nothing to make that transition for a dog either.
I don't think so either. But I'm pretty sure he'd love it.
I'm open to it.
If I did that, I'm definitely open to it too. But I'm happy with the food that he seems to like. He never is standoffish about it.
Well, whoever the marketing wizards were, I bought the dog food I bought today because it looked good to me. 803-0550, Mike Schopp and the Bulldog, WGR.
We have our first result of the Major League Baseball playoffs today. We'll get to that here in just a moment. First up, though, 2 players not practicing for the Bills today. Dorian Williams with a knee injury, and then a new addition to the injury report, cornerback Dorian Strong with a neck. Another new addition, TJ Sanders. He's dealing with a knee injury. He was limited along with Ed Oliver, Matt Milano, Spencer Brown, and Jackson Hawes. For the Patriots, defensive tackle Milton Williams with an ankle missed today after being limited yesterday. For more on practice, Sal Capaccio has a piece up at our website, WGR550.com. And a reminder, the Barnes Firm Injury Report is brought to you by The Barnes Firm. Injured for help, call 1-800-8-MILLION. Thursday Night Football tonight, just after 8 o'clock, the Rams host the 49ers. You can listen to that game right here on WGR, starting in just about an hour and a half at 7:30. And for San Francisco, some brutal injuries. Quarterback Brock Purdy and wide receivers Ricky Pearsall and Juwan Jennings already ruled out for tonight. Then in baseball, after collapsing to lose the AL Central over the last month, the Tigers win the games that matter. They take down the Guardians 6-3 today to move on to the ALDS. They are going to play Seattle. Currently going on right now, Cubs are up 2-0 on the Padres in the third, and then our final game of the day will start at 8 when the Yankees host the Boston Red Sox. And Sports Talk on WGR, presented by Paramount Plus. Sylvester Stallone back in his original hit series, Tulsa King. This season, Dwight faces his most dangerous adversaries yet, forcing him to fight for everything he's built and protect his empire. Stream the new season of Tulsa King exclusively on Paramount Plus. It's Paddock Chevrolet Sports Update. Paddock Chevrolet celebrating 90 years of being your hometown dealership. I'm Zach Jones for WGR Sports Radio 550.
It's Mike Schopp.
It's nothing you did.
It's not you, it's me.
It's not you. It's you, but you didn't cross me.
And the Bulldog.
Why did I choose? Why did I just stay in school?
On WGR Sports Radio 550.
I had what I thought was a funny thought, if not a little bit dark, during the Tigers game, and I'd like to run it by you to see if you think it's funny.
I like dark, funny challenges.
It's the late innings. Detroit is in its big inning. They win today, 6-3. They had a big seventh, I think, 5-run seventh. Didn't Cleveland kind of just do the same thing to them yesterday?
Yeah, that's what they did.
Eighth inning, maybe, seventh or eighth inning. So they're having this big inning, and there's a 3-2 pitch to Dingler, who had already homered in the game. And it rides in on him, and it hits the knob of the bat. You saw it.
Yeah.
He played, and just foul. He played it off as a hit by pitch. He might have felt it brush his hand or something, too. So he just starts taking his gear off and walking to first base. The Guardians challenge the ruling, and they win. There's a delay. They're looking at the play.
It's correctly overturned, yeah.
They change it to a foul ball. So he's on first. He's already taken the shin guard off and the elbow thing and everything. And he puts it all back on. And he goes up to bat. And I thought it would be hilarious if the guy just beamed him.
Just drilled him.
Drilled him.
Right in the middle of the back.
Yeah. Did that hit you? Like the whole thing was just sort of intentional.
Right.
I tried to hit you in the hand, I didn't want it to hurt. Right. But then the next pitch just like square between the numbers.
Right.
That's funny, right?
Yes,
that would have been funny.
That is
because
hilarious.
then we'd be talking about whether he meant to do it.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. No, I like that a lot.
I think he walked, actually, because he did reach.
Yeah.
I didn't see the next pitch, though. I think he probably, unless what I'm saying happened.
That might have been around the time I changed the channel. I don't know.
It was still on.
It was still on, okay.
But I missed the next pitch.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Working.
There. Right. Yeah. No, I like
funny.
It. Yeah, it's not that dark. I mean, it's a little maybe tough for the guy who get intentionally hit, but whatever.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
Yeah, he'll be fine. Yeah.
Cleveland will not be fine. They had a great little run there, and now it's over.
Yeah.
3 games done. Detroit, after all, it's Detroit. Detroit at Seattle in the next round.
Great, a playoff series I won't have to watch.
You won't see a single pitch.
No.
You will not see a single pitch of Tigers-Mariners.
Not. I will, whatever happens tonight, I think I will hang with Blue Jays and Yankees, or Blue Jays and Red Sox, certainly. But I think I will watch Blue Jays Yankees anyway. I'm enjoying the tension. I'm enjoying the crowd, all standing with their hands clasped and just, oh, please get a strike. It's so good. And, year over year that happens in the Major League Baseball playoffs. I feel like it's all been sort of just over there for me until I was hoping this would happen. Going back to Boston sort of reignited me here a little bit. You know, I'm not like I was pre-2004 or anything. I don't think I'll ever be like that again. But I'm really into the playoffs right now. Yeah. And I don't think that'll go away when Boston. I don't know watch Detroit and Seattle, but the Yankees or the Red Sox playing Toronto will totally work for me. And we'll see what the NL side. Dodgers Phillies looks great.
Yeah. Hate both teams, but
but it's big famous players and famous teams, and I'll really dig into it.
Joe got me on Scooble for World Series MVP. I'm in.
All right.
I have a ticket.
Good for you.
I think the Blue Jays should be an underdog against anybody in the next round, either Boston or New York.
Yeah.
They'll have their rotation right, but it's not great. Anyway, I don't know. They were a team to me all season that seemed like it got pretty lucky. And, good that they won the division. I like the Blue Jays, but I think they'll have a tough time winning the next round. We'll see. Home advantage.
Yeah, right. Rest, whatever.
Rest.
Like you said.
Is it rust or is it rest? We'll find out.
Pitching's all set up. So.
We don't know until it's over whether it was rest or rust. How about some reverse NFC power rankings?
Ooh.
You got that in you today?
I always got it in me.
Let's, Bills being so good, we shouldn't just never talk about the NFC.
I gotta look at some teams.
Get the standings.
I gotta get the standings out and refamiliarize myself with some NFC football teams.
All right, well, while you do that...
Look, I don't know them all.
Well, you might not know them all. While you do that, let me announce that the reverse NFC power rankings are powered by Empire Electric, your residential neighborhood electrician. Visit empireelectricians.com. My pen is so bad that I almost don't want to write them, but I got to write them.
Can I see if I can find you a different pen? Oh, there's not. I had one stashed on my side of the room, but it's not here anymore.
Is it this one?
No, it is not that one. No.
I didn't bring one today. All right, this will have to do. Reverse NFC power rankings, 16. Why did I just make a 1 when I wanted to make a 3?
There you go. I found the pen. I was thinking I just threw it at you.
Thank you.
I didn't
Let's
really
go
throw
with
it
it.
at
Let's
you.
go with it.
I threw it to your workstation.
It's got to be an upgrade.
Yeah, I think so.
16.
I find it a pleasurable pen to use.
Interesting. Saints.
You think? Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
They gave the Bills a game.
They did give the Bills a game, but there's not a lot to be excited about there. I mean, the quarterback can run around. I don't know. They're not really doing much in their. It's a bad scene, man. I wonder. I mean, we talked to. Oh well, you weren't here. I talked to Steve Bennett, podcaster of note, sportscasters, good dude, Buffalo dude, and big Saints fan. So I had him on last Wednesday when you were off. He's like, Rattler. I asked him about Shug, right? The kid they drafted at 40 overall or whatever, wherever they picked him, and he's like, Rattler just so bodied him in the preseason. Like it just wasn't even really a comp. He just killed him. It was just so obvious.
Yeah, well.
So I wonder if there's even a pivot to him at some point.
There needs to be.
Just to
second
see,
round pick.
Right, yeah,
you're
going to have to see what that is. But they're going to be at the top of the draft again. You know, they didn't do anything stupid and trade away picks, right? They're holding.
They usually do.
Okay, right.
They love to trade up.
But they're going to have to start over, I think. I mean, I doubt Kellen Moore gets canned after 1 year, but I don't know.
It's not unprecedented.
If they win 2 games, I don't know. You might want to just start over with a new quarterback and a new coach.
I've been out with Steve.
Oh, yeah? I've never met him in person.
That's the time where we were brought food that had been half-eaten.
I'm sorry.
We ordered...
What?
You know that story?
I don't remember.
It was an innocent mistake, but yeah, they brought us food that had... It was somebody's, to-go food. And so I opened it up, and it was like a half-eaten... Yeah. He'll remember. Next time you have him on. Next time you have him on.
Next time I have him on, when you're off going to watch curling.
Sure. Because that's probably not something that happens too many times to you in life.
No.
15.
Wow.
Innocent mistake.
Yeah. Wow.
15.
15.
I hate to say it. Carolina?
That's what I was going to say, but
feels like it needs to be.
Yeah.
It does.
I don't know who else. Like, everybody's 500.
Well, the NFC has always been tougher like this.
Yeah.
The middle is hard.
Yeah, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm looking at the standings here, and I'm like, okay. I don't want to say Giants right now because the kid's in, and maybe that'll be good. But it's almost got to be Carolina.
They just beat and never trailed against the team that's number 2 in our reverse AFC power rankings, the Giants.
Right.
Carolina, 14. Giants.
I was going to try to avoid the Giants, but I'm looking up here, up higher in the Arizona, not Dallas. Giants, I guess, after the whole speech about I didn't want to put them 15th, I guess they'll be 14th.
This is a tier break?
Yeah.
Maybe?
I think
but
maybe.
Still, they're 14?
Yeah.
You agree?
Yeah. Yeah.
13.
Man.
Vikes?
I like that idea. Let's be on brand. Arizona. We hate Arizona. They are never winning anything with Kyler Murray as their quarterback. They are never winning anything, and he is signed, and they're not ever going to win.
Okay.
I got there that Thursday night game against Seattle where you are where it's if he was the quarterback of my favorite team, it would ruin it for me.
Yeah.
I kind of got there that Thursday night. I watching him play is hard. It is a hard role there.
Not a fan.
I said on Purple Insider, which will come out tomorrow, I think, it doesn't look like anybody who plays for Arizona ever has fun. Harrison scored the touchdown and looked miserable.
Mm-hmm.
Murray always looks miserable. Everybody, the coach just always is. I mean, he looks miserable enough. He's just staring at his play card.
Are they still charging their players to eat in their cafeteria or something?
They look like they might be.
I think the players hate the organization.
Everybody looks so miserable
it's
there.
A joke.
12.
Minnesota.
I guess Minnesota. I mean, I'm probably taking the Browns.
Did you see I love Kevin O'Connell. I mean, I think he's worked wonders with different quarterbacks, and I like how he goes about it. I like his personality on the sideline. Like, there's a lot to me to like. Did you see the word salad on like when McCarthy might come back?
I heard a little bit, but
it was just
no.
it was just this paragraph of I can hardly describe it. It was just so vague.
It's how you talk when you don't want to be honest.
Right. It's just like, well, he's got to, learn how to take snaps or something. He didn't say that, but it might as well have. It's a word. It was a mess.
11. Atlanta.
Okay, sure. Penix finally had a game, but
yep,
I don't know.
10.
Chicago.
They beat Dallas.
I gotta say Dallas. They can't stop anyone ever.
Okay. I bet them today.
I know.
I was avoiding Dallas, but okay, it's fair.
A good reason to get them at a good number is that they're terrible.
Well,
so good for you. You got good odds on a bet.
The quarterback is so
great.
good.
Lamb will be back. Pickens, like they got dudes, but I don't know, man.
Ferguson, Ferg Daddy, if you will. 9. Bears.
Sure. Okay.
8. San Francisco.
Who even still plays for that team with all the injuries?
I don't know.
Christian McCaffrey is the one.
Is the answer. One guy.
Christian McCaffrey. Let's pick the game too before we're done.
I'm not sure. I was thinking about Washington.
Okay.
Myself, but are you guys both on San Francisco?
I'm on San Francisco.
All right. Then
7.
Might I suggest Washington next?
I'm fine with that. Not a huge fan. Daniels sounds like he's back.
Yes.
They have the Chargers in L.A.
But no McLaurin.
No McLaurin.
Yeah.
6. This is good. Tampa. Right?
Yeah.
They also got a lot of injuries. They were winning games, though, in spite of that. Same with San Francisco, but there's a lot going on
All
there.
their wins are like with zeros on the clock.
Really close.
And they lost last week, trying to do it again. So I don't know. I mean, credit to them. They've pulled those games out. But, yeah, 6 is high enough for them.
5. Okay. Are you sitting down? Philadelphia.
You're going to say the Eagles?
I am. I think they're actually not good.
Remind me, who do they have this week? Because I was looking at the lines
Denver.
earlier when we did the line.
Home to Denver.
At 4:45, a staple for many years on this show.
Interesting game.
And I thought about saying I like Denver as one of my best bets, but I didn't get there. Maybe I'll pick it tomorrow.
I mean, Super Bowl champs, undefeated, at home against Denver, 3.5. Not like 7.
Right.
I mean, I don't love it. I don't love them. I just secondary's worse. They just need to be exploited. It hasn't happened yet. Can't really run it. Don't throw it.
Maybe there is a ticking A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts time bomb.
There was a piece Jeremy Fowler yesterday said, not during the season, but at the end of the season, they might really entertain that. Through 4 games, 2 of them, he's under 30 yards.
Yeah. But he's still getting the target share. They just don't throw the ball.
Yeah.
So what does he really have to complain about? Right. And they're undefeated. So I'm Philadelphia, but I doubt it's unanimous.
I like it here.
Okay. Philly at 5. You never know with the NFC reverse power rankings.
No.
You never know with these. 4.
Green Bay.
Man.
I might say Seattle before Green Bay.
I like Seattle a lot. Green Bay, fun 2 weeks. You then lost to Cleveland and tied with Dallas. And a tie, I'm holding it against you.
I can't say Rams. You guys are Seattle or Green Bay?
Yeah.
All right. Green Bay feels right. I like Seattle so far. 3?
I'm going to stay on Seattle.
I'll go Seattle here.
Okay.
I like the Rams.
I do like the Rams, too.
2?
Rams.
Yeah. 1 Detroit?
Yep.
Rams minus 8.5 tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Who's ahead? You or me? I don't even know. I think I probably did badly last week, but I didn't.
I went 2 and 3, and you were ahead by
2.5.
So if you didn't totally tank, I would assume you're still ahead, but I don't know that.
I may have, but let's just assume that I won 1 last week. I really don't know. Maybe I did. I can't remember right now. It just felt like I lost everything last week. Right. Fantasy too was a sort of an ugly week. I will take the points tonight, which is not a comfortable feeling. I doubt I'll really bet this game, but San Francisco kind of always beats them, and the line going all the way up to 8.5, the pressure is definitely going the other way. I'm just in the mood to take a Niners team that's done a lot of winning with that much of a spread.
I suspected you would do that. Earlier today, I was thinking about picking this game and thought I would just tell you because it's a lot of points and it's a Thursday. And as much as I love the Rams, it's division and a rivalry and all that, but the hell with it. I'll take the Rams to cover.
Take the Rams.
I'll take the Rams to cover.
How could they not cover?
That's right.
Against Mac Jones and DeMarcus Robinson and Kendrick Bourne and Sky Moore, if you're feeling really adventurous.
Wow.
Like in a FanDuel lineup or something. Yeah. Try that on. Kittle's not back. Really rough.
I do like the Rams. And it's not like, I've had a crush on Matthew Stafford for many years, going back to Georgia. And, McVay and the offense and Nakua and all this stuff, but I love watching Jared Verse play. If there's a guy that's going to get me to if the baseball game gets sideways or something, like Verse will be the guy I'm thinking of. I want to watch that guy chase Mac Jones around.
Yeah, I just feel like it's the Niners because there's no reason for it to be the Niners.
Right.
When you lose a game like that, you feel like such an idiot. But I don't know. Sometimes you win those. Just seems too obvious. Okay, Mike Giardi joined us earlier, Boston Sports Journal, to talk Bills Patriots. Always a great time with him, as it was today. Stay tuned for that. Mike Schopp and the Bulldog, WGR. just to wrap,